Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Hokage. Naruto, I have God-level selection system and unified the ninja world. Chapter 81. Orochimaru said that he didn't expect anything, he worked hard for a long time, and actually made a wedding dress for Naruto. Originally, Orochimaru also thought that after controlling the fourth generation of Hokage, he would attack Naruto. At that time, not only can you get the 9 tails in Naruto's body, but you can also severely damage Konoha village. However, now everything seemed to come to naught, which made Orochimaru extremely annoyed. Where am I? Quote, just when the big snake pill looked ugly, finally the fourth generation slowly walked out of the coffin. After looking left and right, Shadai's gaze finally fell on Naruto. Shadai was very impressed by Naruto's face, so he couldn't help but cry at this time. Naruto does not suppress any feelings of Shadai, because Shadaimu will definitely not make a move on Naruto. This is just like the previous 3 generations of Hokage, under the effect of the rebirth of dirt, they can retain more humanity. And this preserved humanity is the embodiment of their strength. Naruto, is that you? Quote, Shadaimam Hokage was a little excited, and Naruto also nodded at Shadaimu at this moment. The father and son did not expect to meet under such circumstances, and just when the fourth generation wanted to reminisce. Naruto, who was not far away, finally looked at the big snake pill behind him. Obviously the most important thing at this time was to deal with the big snake pill. So Naruto reminded Shadaimu, who was known as Konoha's Golden Flash. So under Naruto's reminder, Shadaimu instantly disappeared in place. When he appeared again in the next moment, he had already come behind the big snake pill, and the shuriken was directly against the big snake pill's throat. It's worthy of Konoha's Golden Flash, such a speed, even I can't compare. Feeling the shuriken on his throat, Orochimaru couldn't help but sigh. It's just that when Naruto thought that Shadaim had caught the big snake pill instantly turned into smoke. Abominable. Is it a stand-in again? Quote, Naruto also saw Orochimaru's trick, and the next moment Orochimaru had appeared in the darkness in the distance. HMPH. Since the corpse of the fourth generation has been lost, there is no point in staying. Quote, Naruto, we'll see you again. After escaping from Shadaim, Orochimaru chose to retreat as soon as possible. In his opinion, now Naruto not only has 3 generations of Hokage, but also 4 generations of purpose blessings. Then it is already impossible to take advantage of it again, and staying is just asking for your own suffering. So Orochimaru decisively chose to flee at this time, and when he fled, the first and second generations also disappeared completely. Seeing this, Naruto had to take back both the 3 generations and the golden horn and the silver horn. But the fourth generation, Naruto did not let him go. Finally the father and son met. Naruto naturally wanted to talk to his father. Naruto, your strength seems to be very strong. Even this forbidden technique can be used, but you must not live up to Konoha's will of fire. The fourth generation Hokage obviously regretted not being able to watch Naruto grow into an adult. At this time, he felt a little sorry in his heart, but he was relieved to think that he would be able to stay by Naruto's side in the future. In this way, Naruto talked to the 4 generations fiercely before leaving. And when Naruto came outside, Sakura had already finished fighting with Yakushi. I have to say that the strength of the medicine master has become extremely fierce with the blessing of the drug. Fortunately, in the end, the big snake pill was defeated, and the medicine master had to follow him and escape. Naruto, are you okay? Quote, Captain Yamato couldn't help but ask when he saw Naruto. Naruto shook his head slightly at this time, indicating that he was fine. Great, Naruto-kun, Hinata whispered. At this point, everyone was obviously relieved. Although the big snake pill and the medicine master pocket were not caught, there was no loss, and this result was already the best. As for the bodies of the 4 generations, Naruto did not tell them that they were reborn from his own dirt. Now that Naruto will use dirt to reincarnate, it is not appropriate to make it public, so more is better than less. Soon, with everyone okay, Captain Yamato finally returned to the village with a few people. The matter of the report was naturally left to Yamato, and Naruto and the others also went home at this time. When he returned to his residence, Naruto was no longer alone. The fourth generation of Hokage can be summoned by Naruto to accompany him at any time, which can be regarded as making up for Naruto's lack of family for many years. In the room, Shidemu looked at the place where Naruto usually lived and couldn't help but smile. If only your mother could see you living like this. It's a pity that her body is no longer there, otherwise our family can be reunited. Shideme Hokage was a little disappointed, but then Naruto laughed. Dad, I'm already content with you. As for the old mother, she has not always lived in our hearts. Quote. Naruto comforted Shideme Hokage, who laughed even louder at this time. Time passed, and a few more days passed in the blink of an eye, and Naruto was no longer alone because of the company of the 4 generations of purpose. Although Shidemu was reborn from filthy soil, as long as Naruto did not suppress it, he had his own emotions. Every time he came back outside, there was a father waiting for him, and Naruto was actually very happy. However, this excitement only lasted for a while, and Naruto once again received a new task. In the Hokage building, Tsunade frowned at the intelligence on the table. Tsunade-sama, recently, the temples around Konoha have been constantly destroyed. Quote. Our people are also constantly suffering heavy losses, and I suspect that the Shao organization did it. Shizune reported the intelligence they had. When he heard the words Shao organization, Tsunade couldn't help but pat the table. It's them again, it's really haunted. I don't know how Jiraiya is over there. Quote. I hope I can also investigate the secrets of the organization. Go, call Naruto and them. Tsunade spoke, ready to call Naruto to investigate the attack on the temple. However, just as Tsunade was about to send Naruto's team, Yamato told Tsunade about Naruto's situation. It turned out that in the previous mission, Yamato had discovered that Naruto's chakra seemed a little unstable. So this mission, Yamato felt that it was better not to let Naruto participate. After much deliberation, Tsunade finally decided to leave the investigation into the attack on the temple to Shikamaru and Asuma for Naruto's safety. As for Naruto, he was asked by Tsunade to follow Yamato to learn chakra's control. Speaking of control over chakra, Yamato can be regarded as an excellent teacher. After all, a generation of target cells has been perfectly controlled by Yamato, and such an ability is almost impossible for anyone to do. The big snake pill also wanted to transplant a generation of target cells, but gave up because it could not be controlled. It can be seen how strong Yamato's control over chakra is. Next day, back mountain, Naruto appeared on time, and Sakura had been waiting for a long time. Hey, Naruto-kun, where did you run? Kakashi-sensei and I have been waiting for you for a long time. Sakura grumbled, desperate to give Naruto a few hammers at once. I have to say that since Sakura followed Tsunade, her personality has become more and more like Tsunade. Coupled with that strange power, it made Naruto very speechless, and he would be punched from time to time. Oh, Sakura, can you be ladylike? Always so loud, not gentle at all, not as good as Hinata. Naruto rolled his eyes, but the next moment he was immediately hammered to the ground by Sakura. Seeing the two fighting, Kakashi on the side couldn't help but laugh. At this time, Kakashi also remembered those times when Sasuke was still there before. I have to say that those days are really nostalgic. Yo, Kakashi-sensei, during your absence, I've become stronger. Quote. Come on, let's discuss and let you see my latest cultivation results. After Naruto broke free of Sakura, he finally spoke to Kakashi. At this time, Kakashi was still very lazy and completely uninterested. However, when he saw that Naruto actually created a very pure chakra and condensed it into a spiral pill, Kakashi's eyes finally widened. I took a lot, I did a good job. You can perceive the nature and changes of chakra in such detail, and the spiral pill is also much stronger than before. Kakashi could tell at a glance that the spiral pill Naruto had created was now much more powerful than before. If the previous spiral pill could only leave a big pit, then the current spiral pill is enough to improve more than 10 times. This was exactly the result of Naruto following Yamato to cultivate chakra. And when Kakashi praised Naruto, Naruto was also proud. Speaking of which, because of the systematic blessing before, Naruto grew up a lot faster. However, Naruto also realized that in the process of growing up, he overlooked many details. For example, many ninjutsu will be more powerful if you pay more attention to details. During this time, he began to check and fill in the gaps in his previous omissions, and with Yamato's help, the effect was very obvious. Kakashi-sensei, pick me up and try it. As Naruto spoke, he was about to throw the spiral pill in his hand at Kakashi. But just then, Kakashi suddenly took his hand out from behind. And at the moment Kakashi-sensei took out his hand, a spiral pill was turning in the palm of his hand. Looking at Kakashi's spiral pill and his own spiral pill, Naruto's eyes widened suddenly. Kakashi-sensei, when did you steal the spiral pill? Quote, how is this possible? Naruto didn't expect Kakashi to be able to spiral pills at all, and Kakashi's spiral pills were actually used with one hand. Naruto with such strength did not dare to think about it, knowing that it was a great requirement for chakra control. And just when Naruto was surprised, Kakashi-sensei squeezed his palm, and the spiral pill disappeared in the palm of his hand. Seeing this scene, Naruto had to admire. In other words, Naruto, the spiral pill created must be thrown out. It's simply impossible to take it back, but Kakashi can do it easily. It was enough for Naruto to see the gap between him and Kakashi-sensei. Practice slowly, Naruto, your control of chakra has indeed improved, but it's still far from it. Kakashi said meaningfully and shared his thoughts with Naruto again. In this way, it was another day of fulfilling cultivation. Knowing that the sun went down, Naruto went home. And just as Naruto was going home to prepare for dinner, the empty space that was finally brought back from the temple suddenly stormed away. Soon, a child dressed in a demon fox cloak appeared in the sky above Konoha and attacked madly. As the explosions in the village continued to sound, ninjas immediately mobilized to block it. However, when they found out that the other party was wearing the coat of a demon fox, many people became afraid. Even Tsunade received the news, which made Tsunade very worried. What do you say? Naruto stormed away. Quote, how is it possible? Didn't the 9 tails in his body always have a seal? Quote, Tsunade received news that Naruto had stormed away and began attacking the village. And the criterion for judging the news turned out to be the demon fox coat. However, it is not to blame the people in the village for misunderstanding. After all, the 9 tails only exists in Naruto's body, and others cannot have the demon fox coat. At this time, just as the village was under attack, Naruto left the house for the first time. When he came to the place where he was attacked again, he saw that the guy called Sora was running away under the blessing of the demon fox coat. HMPH, how can this color match my chakra? What a shame. Quote, Naruto, go and get rid of him, don't ruin Uncle Ben's reputation. As if sensing the only chakra, the 9 tails suddenly opened his mouth in Naruto's mind. Naruto was also a little helpless after hearing the words of the 9 tails. Alas, this guy appeared like this. It is estimated that many people in the village will think that I am sabotage. Quote, no, he must stop. Naruto was about to strike as he spoke, but the guy called Sora was extremely fast under the blessing of the demon fox cloak. Naruto didn't use the 9 tails chakra at the moment, and he really couldn't keep up with him. However, just when Naruto was a little helpless, he soon thought of the flying thunder god. While practicing the other day, Naruto had already marked all the places in the village. Thinking of this, Naruto decisively used the flying thunder god and began to move. And after the flying thunder god launched, Naruto's speed was indeed faster than that empty in the cloak of a demon fox. In almost a few breaths, he had already caught up with the violent teenager. Hey, give me a stop. Quote, Naruto roared decisively after catching up with the guy. The next moment, I saw Naruto decisively use the sealing technique of the Uzumaki clan. This sealing technique was specifically designed to deal with the 9 tails, so soon the boy was controlled. It was also at this time that Tsunade arrived with the lead, and when he saw that Naruto was fighting with the Sora, he finally understood everything. Naruto, are you all right? Tsunade asked. Tsunade, old woman, it's okay. Quote, this guy has been controlled by me. Now I'm going to pull out the 9-tailed chakra on him. Quote, trouble the old woman to help keep an eye on the surroundings, don't let people disturb me. After Naruto explained a few words to Tsunade, he began to absorb the chakra in the boy. Because this part of the chakra itself belonged to the 9 tails, Naruto quickly took the chakra back. After recovering the chakra of the 9 tails, Tsunade sent someone to take the boy away and lock him up. The crisis has finally been lifted, but now another problem has arisen. Looking at the somewhat messy Konoha village, Tsunade couldn't help but frown. Although Naruto had subdued the boy who used the 9-tailed chakra to make trouble, Tsunade could not explain it to the villagers. Because in everyone's consciousness, they all think that only Naruto will have a demon fox coat. So at this time, everyone naturally relied on Naruto for all attacks. Although Tsunade can explain to everyone that all this is a misunderstanding, it will cause damage to that void. Speaking of which, that Sora also has some connection with the village, but this makes Hokage a little embarrassed. Naruto also seemed to see Tsunade's embarrassment, so he decisively took on the heavy responsibility of carrying the black pot. Old woman, it's okay, you just said I caused the destruction. I'm used to it anyway. Big deal, help fix it. Quote, Naruto had suffered from white eyes since he was a child because of the 9-tailed thing in his body, and he had long been used to it. And that empty life is very pitiful. Besides, he will still have to live in the village in the future, and Naruto does not want him to be like himself. So at this time, he carried the black pot on his body, which was regarded as giving Sora a chance. Anyway, it is impossible for him to have another seizure in the future, and the chakra of the demon fox has been recovered. Thinking of this, Tsunade finally agreed to Naruto's suggestion. Of course, in order to forgive the villagers, Tsunade also did a lot of work. In the end, the incident ended with Naruto being scared into black and helping the village repair the house. For the next few days, Naruto was pulled to work as a coolie. Because the repair in the village requires a lot of wood, Naruto can be said to almost tire into a dog. However, just when Naruto was tired, he suddenly thought of his flying thunder god. Yes, I'm so stupid, why don't I fly Thor? Quote, after Naruto finished speaking, he directly put a charm on a large mountain of wood. After the spell was applied, he saw Naruto simply seal it, and the wood was transferred with him. I thought that a mark had been made in the village beforehand, so soon the timber was transported. Seeing Naruto transporting materials and wood in such a strange way, many people saw the shadow of the 4th generation from him. For a while, many ninjas came to watch, and this incident immediately attracted Tsunade's attention. What? Did Naruto learn to fly Thor? Quote, how did this guy do it? Tsunade knows the ninjutsu of the 4th generation Hokage very well, and of course this was also developed by the 2nd generation. However, since the death of Shadaime, no one in Konoha village has been able to learn this ninjutsu for a long time. Now that he learned this ninjutsu and used it so skillfully, Tsunade couldn't help but be surprised. At the same time, I was surprised by the many ninjas in the village who had dealt with Shadaime. Every time they saw Naruto, everyone thought about Shadaime's death to save the village. So soon everyone couldn't bear it. After all, Naruto was the son of the 4th generation. So soon, everyone worked together to help Naruto repair the damaged houses. Although Naruto was tired of being a dog this time, Naruto was particularly moved when he saw that everyone remembered Shadaime. When I went back in the evening, I didn't forget to tell the reincarnated Shadaime about this. The 4th generation couldn't help but burst into tears after hearing this, and his face was full of gratification. Ha, Konoha is still the same Konoha as before. None of the same. Quote, that's why I love this village. Shadaime said proudly to Naruto. Looking at the proud gaze of Shadaime, Naruto also felt that this black cauldron was worth it. After another few days, the repair work in the village has basically been completed. Just as Naruto was idle again, finally the information of Hida and Kakato was sent to Tsunade's table. After learning that both the flying segment and the horn have reappeared, he felt angrily smash the table. This time, make them pay. Avenge ape flying asthma. Tsunade quickly found Shikamaru and Kakashi, who had no mission for the time being. And when he learned that he had the opportunity to avenge his teacher, Shikamaru became more cautious this time. Is Naruto also participating in this mission? Kakashi couldn't help but ask as he was leaving. Tsunade nodded slightly when he saw this. Although the other party was the Shao organization and had been staring at Naruto, Tsunade still planned to let Naruto go with him. Seeing Naruto's growth earlier, Tsunade felt that Naruto definitely had the strength to overcome any difficulties. Besides, growing up in actual combat is more important than ordinary cultivation. After receiving Tsunade's order, Kakashi also immediately summoned Naruto and Sakura. After a brief meeting, the group began to follow Shikamaru's plan, heading towards the location where Hida and Kakato were located. Outside the village, Hida and Kakato were planning to go to Konoha. This time they were ready to take Naruto and bring it back to ask for credit. However, just as the two approached Konoha, Naruto and his group had already rushed over. The first thing they encountered was Kakato, because they didn't know much about the guy Kakato, Kakashi chose to strike. In Kakashi's opinion, such a dangerous figure should be dealt with by himself first. After all, Naruto and they are still children, and besides, Asuma just died, which is enough to prove the strength of the other party. In the clearing on the outskirts, Kakashi arrived first, and the opposite corner recognized Kakashi. Copy Ninja, Kiki Kakashi. Gee, I didn't expect to meet you. That's a little exciting. Quote. Kakato has heard of Kakashi's name, especially his chakra eyes, which makes Kakato even more excited. Although he has Uchiha Itachi, he has never had a chance to fight Itachi. Now that you can finally appreciate the power of the Sharingan, Kakato certainly won't miss such a good opportunity. Come on Kakashi, try my secret art. Grudge. Quote. Kakato attacked almost instantly, and as he unleashed his ninjutsu, Kakashi couldn't help but frown. At this time, I saw Kakato's body, and suddenly became a very terrifying appearance. Countless thin black lines also spread out from his body, forming tentacles that came straight towards Kakashi. Seeing this, Kakashi directly used Ratchet to cut off these thin black lines that the corners had made. However, these thin black lines seemed to be alive, and they dodge every time. And when Kakashi was caught off guard, it was quite tricky to entangle him. Thunder. Plover. Quote. Kakashi used his signature ninjutsu again and hit Kakato. However, at this time, Kakato also used similar ninjutsu. Lay done, I will too. As Kakato spoke, he began to use various powerful ninjutsu. And these ninjutsu also made Kakashi a little frightened. Generally speaking, the ninjutsu that a person learns is practiced according to the chakra attribute. However, Kakato can master ninjutsu with various attributes, which also opened Kakashi's eyes. Speaking of which, it was still the third generation of Hokage who could use so many types of ninjutsu before. However, unlike the 3 generations of Hokage, Kakato is completely able to obtain by transplanting different hearts. And the 3rd generation of Hokage can become an all-round ninja by practicing hard. The gap between the two is still very large, and Kakato's approach is a little crueler. Of course, Kakashi did not know Kakato's abilities. After all, the members of the Shao organization were very mysterious. Information about their ninjutsu is almost blank. At this time, seeing that Kakato was actually good at all kinds of ninjutsu, Kakashi suddenly felt tricky. Oh, Kakashi, I booked your heart. Be a part of my body. Kakato finally spoke again after fighting Kakashi for a while. At this time, he had already set his sights on Kakashi's heart, and in his opinion, such a strong ninja heart must not be wasted. However, Kakashi is not easy to mess with, and by this time Kakashi has opened his chakra eye. Looking at Kakashi's chakra eye, Kakato became more and more excited. I've wanted to fight with Itachi for a long time, but I haven't had a chance. Now I can practice with you, let me see what secrets are in the Sharingan. Kakashi. Quote. Kakato licked his tongue before striking at Kakashi again. This time, countless black lines struck again, and Kakashi easily dodged because of the blessing of the Sharingan. This guy is so weird. Kakashi didn't know what to do with Kakato at this time. And just when Kakashi was forced to retreat by Kakato, finally Naruto and his group rushed to the battlefield. Kakashi-sensei, are you okay? Quote. Yo senior, it looks like the battle is fierce. Sakura and Sasui were now standing beside Kakashi, always on alert. Naruto was standing in the front at this time, and when he saw Kakato, Naruto couldn't help but be happy. Obviously, this guy Kakato happened to be a good target for Naruto to practice. Recently, Naruto has learned a lot of new ninjutsu, and he is worried that there is no one to spar with. Kakashi-sensei, leave this guy to me to deal with. You guys go to support Shikamaru. Shikamaru has already found that guy called Hida. Naruto knew that the guy in the flying section was tricky, because that guy could hardly be killed. Although Shikamaru single-handedly solved him in the original work, Fiden is not so easy to die. Hearing Naruto's words at this time, Kakashi certainly wouldn't listen. He had already fought with Kakuto before and knew how powerful Kakuto was. In Kakashi's opinion, Naruto was no match for Kakuto at all, so he naturally wouldn't leave. But Shikamaru's side did need support, so in the end, Kakashi asked Sasui and Sakura to support Shikamaru. As for himself, he chose to stay and deal with Kakuto with Naruto. At this time, Kakuto had already shifted his gaze to Naruto, and it was clear that Naruto was his target. Are you the nine-tailed imp? Gee, I was worried about how to enter Konoha to find you, but I didn't expect you to come yourself. This saves me a lot of trouble, I'll solve you now. Then take you back. Quote. As Kakuto spoke, the black lines on his body were already coming towards Naruto. Seeing this scene, Kakashi quickly reminded Naruto. However, Naruto knew Kakuto better than Kakashi, so his attacks didn't seem to Naruto to work at all. At this time, just as Kakuto was attacking Naruto, another figure also jumped down from the tree. The next moment, I saw that figure decisively use Izuku to deal with those tentacles of the Joudu. Yamato, you're here too. Quote. Kakashi recognized the figure in front of him as Yamato, and with his presence, Kakashi was much relieved. However, just when Kakashi and Yamato were blocking Naruto's way, otherwise the horns were close to Naruto, Naruto had already moved. At this time, Naruto had already raised a hand, and then saw the spiral pill suddenly appear in the palm. And when that spiral pill appeared, Naruto once again controlled the chakra in his body, forming a qualitative change in the wind. Naruto, can you actually control the qualitative change of chakra so freely? Quote. Kakashi couldn't help but be surprised when he caught a glimpse of Naruto at this time. Just when Kakashi looked surprised, Naruto suddenly threw out the created ninjutsu from his hand. Wind Escape, Spiral Shuriken. Quote. This is the name Naruto gave himself for his new ninjutsu. In fact, the Wind Escape Spiral Wand is still somewhat similar to the Great Jade Spiral Pill. And at the moment when Naruto ninjutsu struck, Yamato also cooperated on the side. At this time, I saw countless rattans instantly grabbing the horns, making him unable to move. As for Kakashi, he even used the divine power of the Sharingan to deal with Kakuto. Seeing that Kakuto had been entangled by Yamato and Kakashi, Naruto's K's Spiral Shuriken hit Kakuto directly. Kakuto didn't even have time to react before Naruto had successfully shattered a heart. With the shattering of a heart, Kakuto suddenly fell into a state of madness. It actually broke one of my hearts. I'll kill you. Quote. Kakuto seemed to start to storm at this time, and seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help but smile. Ha, do you think that a few more hearts will mean a few more lives? Quote. Shut you up now. Naruto began to seal as he spoke, and as the mark was completed, Naruto suddenly disappeared in place. When he appeared again in the next moment, he had already arrived in front of Kakuto. Kakuto didn't even see Naruto's face clearly at this time, and Naruto disappeared again. Flying Thor, Kakuto seemed to see the ninjutsu Naruto used, and a figure also appeared in his mind. But before he could say the name of the fourth generation, Naruto was already covered with detonation charms all around him. I have to say that the Flying Thunder God is really an unexpected good messenger, and the horns at this moment are at risk of being exploded at any time. But this was not enough. Naruto at the moment was almost in full firepower. After trapping Kakuto with the detonation charm, Naruto used 8 more Dunjia. And the 8-door Dunjia directly opened to the 6th gate, and this momentum made Kakashi sigh to himself. Oh boy, you think you can kill me this way? Quote. Of course, Kakuto didn't expect Naruto's strength to be so strong, but he was still not afraid. At this time, I saw that the horns instantly wrapped those black lines around their bodies, forming a shield. Looking at this posture, it seemed that he was ready to carry Naruto's attack hard. At this time, Naruto was also not polite, and directly rushed at Kakuto with a fierce kick. Straight kick until the horn is all deformed, and then I listened. But the moment he stopped, Naruto's hand was already glowing with thunder. The ability of the thunder fruit suddenly descended on Jiaodu, and the black lines of the directly exploded Jiaodu were torn apart. It's now. Go to hell. Quote. With Naruto's cold drink, the detonation charm instantly exploded. Countless detonation charms, explosions occurred at the same moment, even the strongest ninja could not bear it. Seeing the firelight flying in front of them, both Kakashi and Yamato couldn't help but sigh. Previously, when facing Kakato, Kakashi himself felt troubled. However, what he didn't expect was that such a master actually lost in Naruto's hands. I have to say that Naruto's practice during this period is still very effective. Yamato on the side gave Naruto a thumbs up. Although he did not team up with Naruto for a long time, Yamato had long regarded Naruto as his friend and disciple. However, just when both Kakashi and Yamato were pleased with Naruto's wonderful performance, Naruto frowned. This guy isn't dead yet. Naruto opened the domineering look at this moment, and soon caught Kakato in the explosion. Originally, I thought that this guy would be blown up like this, but now it seems that he underestimated Kakato. My attack just now has been aimed at a few of his hearts. No reason. Quote. Naruto was a little puzzled at this time, knowing that he was well aware of Kakato's weaknesses. So the previous attack, he had been targeting those hearts of Kakato. But now it seems that Kakato still hides other secrets, otherwise he would not have lived until now. Gee, I didn't expect the Nine Tails to be so strong, but I underestimated you. Then I'm going to be serious. The explosion finally subsided a moment later, when Kakato's voice sounded again. Hearing Kakato's voice, Kakashi and Yamato tensed up again. But just as Kakashi and Yamato were shocked, Naruto opened his mouth at them. Kakashi-sensei, Captain Yamato, don't interfere. Leave this guy to me. Naruto was also aroused by Kakato at this time, and did not want to be disturbed. And for Naruto's request, Kakashi and Yamato looked at each other, and finally agreed. Although the current situation seemed a little dangerous, they chose to believe Naruto. So soon the two retreated some distance and stayed aside. Seeing Kakashi and Captain Yamato retreat, Naruto's blood boiled again. Oh, if you have a few more lives than others, you can't be rampant. Kakato, I know your weaknesses very well. Naruto directly stated what he knew about Kakato, and after hearing Naruto's words, Kakato was also surprised. Gee, I didn't expect you to actually study me. But that was before, and now I'm stronger than before. Kakato said as he slowly revealed several faces from those black lines. There were already quite a few scars on these faces, apparently caused by Naruto's attack. Naruto looked at those faces and knew that behind them was Kakato's heart. But now it seems that these hearts have been specially treated and have not been broken at all. That's why he survived the explosion. Well, it seems that you can only use compound ninjutsu. Naruto saw that ordinary ninjutsu could not break Kakato's heart, and finally thought of compound ninjutsu. However, just as Naruto was about to use compound ninjutsu, Kakato had already begun to attack first. Nine-tailed boy, let you taste my true strength. Quote. Compound ninja, Yangfang chaos. Quote. With a cold drink from Kakato, I saw the faces on his body open their mouths at the same time. The next moment, countless fireballs immediately flew out from those mouths and went straight towards Naruto. Seeing the fireball getting closer and closer to him, Naruto finally realized that this was not an ordinary fireball. Is this the ninjutsu that the wind is mixed with the fire? I didn't expect this guy to actually have this hand. But my compound ninjutsu is not covered. Naruto saw that the other party took out the goods at the bottom of the box, so he no longer hid it. Previously, when he was practicing, Naruto was already developing this compound ninjutsu. Now it could come in handy, which also made Naruto a little excited. Since you use a combination of wind and fire, then I will combine water and earth. Naruto has inherited the legacy of 3 generations of Hokage since he was reborn in the soil. Having learned all his ninjutsu, Naruto was ready to use the ninjutsu of Iomi to deal with Kakato. The next moment, I saw Naruto raise his hand to make a seal, and soon the ground began to rise. With the dragon chi on the ground, a huge splash suddenly burst out from the ground. At the moment of rushing into the sky, the water suddenly mixed with the earth. And at the moment when the two mixed, I saw that the mixed material was directly as terrifying as magma. Compound Ninja, Heavenly Flames and Death. Quote, Naruto gave his compound ninja a very windy name. When he shouted this name at this moment, he was a little bit in the middle, but it did not affect the power of this ninjutsu. Seeing Kakuto's compound ninja approaching, Naruto's compound ninja finally collided with it. And at the moment when the two ninja collided, even the space seemed to be distorted. Not far away, looking at the duel between the two ninja methods, Kakashi and Captain Yamato couldn't help but widen their eyes. Shish, the power of this compound ninja method is 100 times stronger than that of ordinary ninja FA. Quote, when did Naruto research it? Kakashi was Naruto's teacher, but he really hadn't taught Naruto this. At this time, watching Naruto use such a powerful ninjutsu, Kakashi couldn't help but sigh. Of course, what Kakashi didn't know was that Naruto had 4 generations by his side in addition to the guidance of the 3 generations. Such 2 Hokage with rich experience personally served Naruto as a teacher, naturally not comparable to others. At this time, after the 2 compound ninjutsu met, Gaosha also immediately separated. Since Naruto used 2 chakra attributes that restrained Kakuto, Kakuto's attack soon disappeared. By the time Kakuto reacted, Naruto's compound ninja technique had already fallen on him. Feeling the pain coming from his body, Kakuto finally found that his heart was shattering one by one. Knowing that when his heart shattered at the last moment, Kakuto finally collapsed to the ground. This time, Kakuto never replaced death with a heart as before. Looking at Kakuto's corpse, Naruto couldn't help but laugh. This compound ninja method is really easy to use. It seems that it will be necessary to develop a little more in the future. Quote, Naruto had already come to Kakashi and Yamato as he spoke. After the 3 of them gathered, they began to rush towards the location where the flying section was located. However, before leaving, Naruto still brought Kakuto's body back through his doppelganger. In Naruto's opinion, it was a pity not to use his corpse to be reborn in the soil. After all, Kakuto is also a very powerful combat force, and it is best to use it for himself. Just as Naruto's side solved Kakuto, on the other side, Shikamaru and they and Hijuin also fell into a bitter battle. Originally, Shikamaru, with his super high IQ, had completely trapped the flying segment. However, the cursed ninjutsu of this guy Fei Duan is very strange, and no matter how you kill it, it seems that you can't kill it. Looking at the smug Hida, Shikamaru and Sakura fell into fear. I have to say that the people who can solve asthma are really not ordinary people. At this time, Fiden also looked at Shikamaru very proudly, and his face was full of admiration. Gee, you can force me to this point, you are not bad little ghost. It seems that I can't waste time with you anymore. As Fei Duan spoke, he began to draw strange circular symbols under his feet. With the symbol drawn, Fei Duan began his curse ritual again. For such a headache curse ceremony, Shikamaru and several people also had a headache. Be careful, this guy's ninjutsu can return damage, so be sure not to attack him while he is standing in formation. Shikamaru saw Hida playing curse again, and couldn't help but remind Sakura and sigh. Obviously, after some competition with Fei Duan, Shikamaru has figured out this guy's routine. However, although this routine has been figured out, it cannot be cracked, which is the most infuriating. Ha ha ha, although you saw through my ninjutsu, you can't help me. Well, this feeling is very helpless. The flying segment had already set up the formation at this time, and Shikamaru had to look at the flying segment from a distance, not knowing how to be good. It was also at this time, not far away, that the figures of Naruto and Kakashi finally appeared. Seeing Naruto's appearance not far away, Fei Duan couldn't help but frown. Huh, that guy in Kakuto won't be dead, right? Quote, that guy has several hearts, each of which is a life. How could he die so quickly? Quote, Fei Duan did not feel sad for Kakuto, although the two were teammates, they had no feelings. Just as Hida was guessing whether Kakuto was already dead, Naruto and the others finally stopped beside Shikamaru. Well, take more, are you guys done over there? This guy is too tricky, as long as he stands in that circle, we can't kill him. Shikamaru told Naruto and Kakashi some information about Hida. It's just that despite the intelligence of the flying segment ability, everyone still has no way to crack it. At this moment, they had to freeze in place. And the flying section is throwing the scythe at this time, ready to strike at any time. As long as it is hit by the scythe of the flying segment, then the next step is not good. The flying segment can bind itself to the injured person's body through blood. In this way, it is achieved to inflict damage on oneself and return it to the other person. There really is no good way to crack such ninjutsu. However, just when everyone had a headache about how to deal with the flying segment, Naruto decisively thought of a way. Since we can't kill him, then let him not kill us. As Naruto spoke, he began to walk towards the flying segment. At the same time, the seal began to be formed in his hand, and soon he saw a cursed formation appear under Naruto's feet. Seeing the formation appear under Naruto's feet, the flying section not far away couldn't help but wonder. How is it possible? How do you understand my ninjutsu? Quote. Hijuin didn't expect Naruto to actually use the same ninjutsu as him. However, although he saw that Naruto used the same ninjutsu, Hida did not think that Naruto would really use it. So Hida began to try to bind to Naruto. Soon he began to take out his weapon and slash at his body. However, when Hida scratched himself, Naruto's body on the other side was immediately injured. Seeing Naruto's body bleeding, Hibi couldn't help but laugh. However, just when Hibi thought he had succeeded, Naruto immediately returned the damage to Hibito. At this time, before Fei Duan laughed a few times, he was already a little unsteady by the pain. It turns out that the damage returned by this ninjutsu will increase due to the difference in chakra. Hida did return damage to Naruto earlier, but Naruto used the same ninjutsu. And Naruto's chakra is much stronger than the takeoff section, especially the nine-tailed chakra, which is not something anyone can bear. Therefore, the flying section at this time looked extremely painful, and his face was instantly covered with beads of sweat. How so? Why is the damage returned to me stronger? Quote. Hijuin looked at Naruto with wide eyes, but Naruto didn't bother to talk nonsense with him. Now we can't hurt anyone, what tricks do you have to gush out? Naruto has copy ninjutsu in his hands, and as long as Hibito uses his ninjutsu, Naruto can copy it. Therefore, no matter how powerful the flying section was, he instantly lost his advantage in front of Naruto. At this time, seeing that Naruto actually used the same move to deal with Hijuin, which made Hida feel cohabitation, everyone was happy. It was also at this moment that Naruto winked at Shikamaru. Shikamaru immediately understood what Naruto meant, so he was quickly ready to strike at any time. The flying section on the opposite side, after seeing that his curse had no advantage, was ready to change to a ninjutsu to deal with Naruto. And at the moment when he was about to change ninjutsu and the formation on the ground disappeared, Shikamaru decisively used the shadow imitation technique. The next moment, I saw that the flying section was instantly controlled by Shikamaru. Seeing that Hida was incapacitated, Naruto also suddenly burst out, and directly a wind spiral shuriken was clasped on his head. Before Hida didn't even have time to react, he was already knocked down by Naruto's K's spiral shuriken. Because Hida had an immortal body, Naruto immediately used the strongest ghoul seal next. Under the effect of the ghoul sealing, Fei Duan's soul was immediately sealed. Until this moment, the flying segment can be regarded as completely finished. As for his body, Naruto took it as usual. You must know that such a strong combat power cannot be wasted. Phew, finally dried out. Asuma-sensei, you can rest in peace. Quote. Shikamaru looked at the solved flying segment at this time, and couldn't help but look up at the sky and sigh. Kakashi on the side couldn't help but pat him on the shoulder. Go back, Naruto-sama is still waiting for our good news. Quote. After speaking, the group quickly disappeared into the forest. Soon after returning to the village, Kakashi and Captain Yamato reported the details of the mission. As for Naruto and Shikamaru's group, they came to Asuma's tomb to deeply mourn the teacher. Asuma-sensei, rest in peace, the will of fire will last forever. We will continue to live with your will. This is our Shinobido. Quote. Everyone saluted in front of Asuma's tomb, and Sunset Hong, who was hiding not far away, also had red eyes at this time. In the village, children chased and fought in the streets, and there were occasional noises of frolics, which was particularly peaceful. After Naruto finished mourning Asuma, he was going to eat a bowl of ramen. But at this moment, because of the sudden lack of physical strength, he fainted directly to the ground. Fortunately, Hinata happened to pass by, so he immediately carried Naruto off the ground and rushed towards Konoha Hospital. Naruto-kun, cheer up a little. Hinata was very worried about Naruto's comfort at this time, so he sped up even more. And when she took Naruto to the hospital, Sakura rushed up immediately. Hinata, what's wrong with this guy? Isn't it okay just now? Quote. Let me check him out. Sakura had already put Naruto on the hospital bed at this time. After some examination, Sakura found that Naruto's hand seemed to be seriously injured. This damage seems to be caused by some kind of high-priced ninjutsu. Soon, the fact that Naruto was injured also reached Tsunade's ears. So Tsunade decided to personally investigate the cause of Naruto's injury. However, when Tsunade saw Naruto's injury, he immediately made a judgment. It turns out that the damage mainly comes from Naruto's new ninjutsu, the K's Spiral Shuriken. This ninjutsu requires control over chakra to a rather subtle level, and apparently Naruto does not yet have such strength. Although Naruto was already very powerful, he was still a lot worse in chakra's cultivation. So Tsunade immediately forbade Naruto to use some similar compound ninjutsu again. When Naruto finally woke up and learned that his new ninjutsu was listed as forbidden, Naruto was very big-headed. However, although Tsunade listed this ninjutsu as forbidden, Naruto still did not intend to give up. In the hospital, Naruto lay on the hospital bed, and when everyone left, Naruto began to study. At this moment, a whistle suddenly came from outside the window. Hearing that whistle, Naruto subconsciously looked out the window. At this time, I saw Jiraiya hanging outdoors, grimacing at Naruto. Yo, Toad Immortal, you're back. Great, I just have something to ask you. Naruto jumped out of the hospital bed as he spoke, then opened the window and jumped out. It didn't take long for Naruto and Jiraiya to appear on Hokage Rock. Ahem, take a lot, I heard that you have developed a powerful ninjutsu yourself. Worthy of being my disciple. Ha ha ha. However, don't learn big snake pills to develop ninjutsu. Quote. Jiraiya had a headache when he thought of the big snake pill. It was because of his obsession with developing ninjutsu that he went down a crooked path. Jiraiya didn't want Naruto to follow the path of Orochimaru as well. Of course not, by the way, old lady Tsunade has banned my ninjutsu. Alas, you can't use it in front of people in the future. Naruto was helpless, but at this moment, a spiral pill had appeared in his hand. Looking at this posture, Naruto seemed to be planning to show it in front of Jiraiya. However, while Naruto was demonstrating compound ninjutsu, the spiral pill suddenly lost control. Fortunately, Z-Lai was also beside him, crushing the spiral pill. Phew, good risk. This is Hokage Rock. Naruto, don't mess around, you boy. Quote. Such a dangerous ninjutsu, if you don't get it right, the entire Hokage Rock will be blasted away. I'm afraid I'll be scolded by that old woman Tsunade at that time. Jiraiya couldn't help but knock on the top of Naruto's head. At this time, Naruto also laughed. Is that the ninjutsu you created just now? It seems that your detailed grasp of chakra is still lacking. It just so happens that I've been in the village for the past few days, I'll teach you. Jiraiya said and jumped directly off the Hokage Rock, and Naruto hurriedly followed when he saw this. In the office of the Hokage building, just as Naruto and Jiraiya went to practice, another message was sent. This time it was still about Orochimaru, and seeing the information, Tsunade thought seriously for a moment before calling Kakashi. Kakashi, Orochimaru has news, you take someone on a mission. You don't need to take Naruto with you this time, let him practice well with Jiraiya. Tsunade ordered, and after receiving Tsunade's order, Kakashi disappeared in place. In a forest far away from Konoha village, a figure kept shuttling, looking very anxious. And just when she was anxious, in the lake on the other side, a small boat was floating towards the center of the lake. Nah, Orochimaru, hurry up and take this pill. Quote, after eating it, I'll take you to find the Red Lotus. On the boat, the medicine master was talking to a child at this time. After hearing the medicine master's words, the child obediently took the pill and then ate it. However, just as Ghost Pill swallowed the pill, his body began to suffer. Feeling the pain in his body, the eyes of the child known as Orochimaru began to change. Good, that's it. Come out, Neo. Become a help from Lord Orochimaru. Quote. The medicine master did not pay attention to the child's pain at this time, but was very excited. And the reason why he did this was naturally to force out the tailed beast in the body of the child in front of him. That's right, the kid called Orochimaru in front of him is just like Naruto. After seeing Naruto's growth, Orochimaru became more and more interested in the tailed beast. So after finally getting the three-tailed human pillar power, he couldn't wait to control this power. Until then, however, all his efforts seemed to have had no effect. This time, they were even ready to listen to the line and force out the three tails. This method is likely to make Zhu Li die completely, but even so, Medicine Master Pocket and the Great Snake Pill will not give up. In the forest, the figure that was galloping before finally felt the lake. Looking at the somewhat painful ghost pill on the ship, the figure did not hesitate to use Izuku ninjutsu. At this time, I saw that the surface of the lake immediately seemed to form countless ice crystals, and the boat also stopped under the action of crystal ninjutsu. Pocket, let go of Orochimaru, otherwise I'll kill you. Quote. The figure on the shore said as he rushed over. Seeing the people on the shore rushing to the center of the lake, the medicine master also had a little headache. Red Lotus, do you dare to disobey Lord Orochimaru's orders? Quote. I will definitely repay Lord Orochimaru. The medicine master was obviously upset that his plans were interrupted. However, he was obviously no match for Red Lotus, so he was soon forced out of the boat by Jingdu. At this time, the Red Lotus had also come to the side of the boat, and then saw him directly holding the ghost pill. Looking at Ghost Pill's very painful appearance, Hong Lian was distressed. In Konoha village, Kakashiban had set off towards the area where Orochimaru was located. Although they don't know the intention of the big snake pill for the time being, Kakashi and the others still plan to investigate clearly and solve the big snake pill by the way. In the village, just as Kakashi's squad went on a mission, Naruto was practicing hard. I finally created a powerful ninjutsu by myself, and naturally I can't give it up. At the same time, not only Jiraiya, but when he went back at night, Naruto did not forget to call out the third and fourth generations. With the knowledge of these two shadow-level ninjas, Naruto can be said to be improving rapidly. Chakra control, which might have taken months to master, was learned by Naruto in a matter of days. Looking at Naruto, who was progressing so quickly, even Jiraiya was shocked. Naruto, if this continues, I'm afraid it won't be long before your strength surpasses me. By the way, you don't know psychic yet, do you? Zhi Yi began to draw psychic talismans on the ground as he spoke, and then saw Toad Wentai suddenly appear. Looking at Toad Bunta, Naruto couldn't help but say hello. Yo, Boss Toad, long time no see. Naruto spoke. Ha, little ghost, you've grown so big. Quote. As soon as Toad Buntai saw Naruto, he couldn't help but sigh. The last time he saw Naruto, Naruto was a little green, but now he has grown a lot. Come on Naruto, I'll teach you psychic. After Jiraiya finished speaking, Naruto jumped on Toad Bunta's head. Naruto did not hesitate at this time and jumped directly up. Then I saw that Jiraiya also gave Naruto the principles of psychic arts and charms. Seeing this, Naruto also began to try. Come out, Toad Boss. Quote. Naruto began his first attempt at this time, but when Naruto's words fell, the psychic technique did not work at all. Seeing this scene, he couldn't help but roll his eyes. The Toad Boss on the side couldn't help but snort coldly and scolded an idiot. Of course, Naruto was reluctant to give up just like that, and soon he tried again. At the same time, he also remembered what Sandaime had told him in his mind, so he quickly mastered the core of psychic. One more time, come out. Quote. Naruto sealed again at this time, drawing the spell, almost in one go. And just as Naruto pressed his hand to the ground, finally the ground instantly erupted into a puff of smoke. Seeing the smoke, Zhi finally felt a little relieved. Finally succeeded, it seems that this kid is not stupid. Let me see who he channeled out. Zhi also waited curiously for the smoke to disappear, but when the smoke really disappeared, Zhi was startled. At this time, I saw Naruto lying on a monkey with a large stick in his hand. Ah, Naruto, How did you get him out? Quote, this is not a psychic beast of the third generation, the Ape King, the Ape Demon. How did you do it? Took more. Quote, Jiraiya didn't expect Naruto to be able to channel this guy out. You must know that this guy is not very good-tempered, even if the 3 generations of apes fly to the sun, sometimes they can't suppress it. And just when Jiraiya looked surprised, Naruto also laughed awkwardly. Originally, he wanted to rule the toad of Miaomu Mountain, but who knows that he remembered it incorrectly and shouted the psychic spell of the 3 generations of purpose. Crouching on the Ape King's head at this time, Naruto laughed awkwardly. Well, I seem to have made a mistake. How to make it go back, Jiraiya teacher. Quote. Of course, Naruto also knew the temper of the Ape King, and at this time, he wished that this guy would hurry back. But before Naruto finished speaking, the Ape King had already swung his stick and smashed it overhead. How can it be reasonable? Who dares to disturb Lao Su to rest? Is that you, boy? The Ape King's anger was all focused on Naruto at this time. The next moment, I saw him directly stretch out his hand and squeeze Naruto down. The wielding stick in his hand was directly used as a baseball bat, and it seemed that he wanted to knock Naruto away. Fortunately, Zillai on the side also hurriedly greeted Toad Wentai and rushed over. At this time, I saw Toad Bunta directly blocking the Ape King's stick with a big knife, which saved Naruto. Naruto also hurriedly used the avatar technique at this time to escape from the palm of the Ape King's hand. That, Ape Demon, give face, Naruto made a mistake. Go back. Good no good. Quote, Zillai also tried to reason with the Ape King, but where would the Ape King's violent temper listen? Despite the Toad Buntai in front of him, the Ape King attacked irritably. Jiraiya, this guy is too difficult, I won't play with you. If you really want to fight him, you will definitely get injured, you can solve it yourself. Toad Wentai saw that the Ape King was furious, and actually disappeared directly back to Miaomu Mountain. Seeing this scene, both Jiraiya and Naruto were shocked. Ah, Toad Buntai, you guy don't leave us. Quote, Zillai also doesn't want to do anything with the Ape King, this guy can do a lot of ninjutsu for 3 generations. Every time I think of the ninjutsu of the 3 generations, I feel a headache. After all, it was his teacher, and he was not lessoned. So after thinking for a moment, Zillai also directly greased the soles of his feet and slipped away. Naruto, I still have something, your own psychic, solve it yourself. Jiraiya ran towards the village with a puff of smoke as he spoke, and when Jiraiya fled, Naruto had a black line. At this time, the Ape King had already aimed at Naruto and smashed down with a stick. Fortunately, Naruto dodged in time so that he would not be injured. Seeing that the Ape King was almost violent, and no one could control it at all, Naruto had to reincarnate 3 generations of dirt. As soon as the 3 generations appeared, the Ape King finally set his eyes on him. Speaking of which, since the 3rd generation, the Ape King still missed him very much. Now seeing the 3 generations, the Ape King couldn't help but put away his irritable emotions. Yo, Ape Demon, long time no see. It's okay. Quote, I didn't expect to see you again. The 3 generations greeted the Ape Demon, and at this time, the Ape Demon finally squatted in front of him and talked to him about the old. Seeing this, Naruto finally breathed a sigh of relief, and it didn't take long for Sandaime to call Naruto over. Ape Demon, Naruto will be handed over to you later. You have to get along with him. He is the future of the village and the continuation of my Shinobido. Quote, the 3 generations explained meaningfully, and when they heard his words, although the Ape King was not happy, he still nodded. Well, for your sake, I'll become this kid's psychic beast in front of me. Seeing that the Ape King agreed to come down, the 3 generations finally nodded with satisfaction. Naruto also took advantage of the presence of the 3 generations to completely reach a contract with the Ape King. Please advise me in the future, Ape Demon. Naruto Uzumaki saluted. Quote, Naruto stretched out his fist at the Ape King, and then saw the Ape King touch him very reluctantly. In the end, the psychic technique was completely achieved, and the 3 generations disappeared in place with relief. On the Hokage rock, Jiraiya was looking in the direction where Naruto and the Ape King were. Originally, he thought that Naruto would break out into a fierce fight with the Ape King, but in the end, it did not happen. Just when he was a little curious, Naruto had already appeared behind Jiraiya. Toad immortal, you guy is very unrighteous. Actually left me and fled. As punishment, I decided to punish you for inviting me to eat ramen. 10 bulls. Quote. Naruto's cold opening suddenly startled him. When he turned around and saw Naruto intact, he couldn't help but grow his mouth. Your kid wasn't beaten by the Ape King. That's not right. Quote. I know that guy's temper, and the teacher didn't let him beat us up before. Jiraiya now has palpitations when he thinks of the days when he used to practice with the 3 generations of me. Especially when I think of the face of the Ape King, I am even more afraid. And just when Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a worried expression, Naruto waved his hand leisurely. Don't worry, I've already agreed with that guy. In the future, he will be my psychic beast. Naruto said and began to walk towards the bottom of the Hokage rock, and Jiraiya immediately followed. In the forest outside the village, Kakashi's team finally approached the lake. And when they came here, they found that the medicine master was arguing fiercely with the Red Lotus. As for what exactly happened between them, Kakashi is not clear to them for the time being. Kakashi-sensei, am I going to strike? Sakura was a little angry when she saw Yakushi, and this guy had been following Orochimaru. Sasuke's departure, he also contributed a lot, thinking of these Sakura made him angry. But just when Sakura was ready to strike, Kakashi stopped her. Don't worry, let's see what tricks they are playing. Kakashi let everyone hide at this time, quietly monitoring the group of Yakushi. At this moment, the lakeside Red Lotus had already picked up the ghost pill and was ready to take him out of here. However, at this time, the medicine master pocket made people intercept the Red Lotus. You can't go anywhere. What Lord Orochimaru wants, there is nothing you can't get. Quote. Now let that imp summon the 3 tails at once. Otherwise, I'll tell him your secret. Quote. I think if he knew you did it, you would have lost him immediately. As the medicine master spoke, he couldn't help but show his signature sinister smile. Looking at the sinister smile of the medicine master, Hong Lian couldn't help but be stunned in place. She knew very well that if the killing of Ghost Pill's parents was told by Yakushi about Ghost Pill, the consequences would be unimaginable. At the beginning, Red Lotus took the order of the Great Snake Pill and killed the family of the Ghost Pill, and she didn't think much about it. But who would have thought that after getting along with Ghost Pill for a long time, they actually had feelings. Now Red Lotus completely regarded Ghost Pill as her own child, and she didn't want anything to happen to Ghost Pill. But the Great Snake Pill and the Medicine Master Pocket would not let the Ghost Pill go, because the Ghost Pill was a 3-person pillar force in their eyes. Ha, pouch. Actually, you are all mistaken. Quote, Ghost Pill is not a 3-tailed human pillar force. He couldn't summon the 3 tails at all. Quote. After a moment of silence, Red Lotus finally spoke again. This time, she finally told the truth buried in her heart. It turned out that the Red Lotus was afraid that the Great Snake Pill and the Medicine Master would use the Ghost Pill as an experiment, so he said that he was a human pillar force. With this identity, the Big Snake Pill naturally would not let the Ghost Pill become a test product so easily. This was actually a lie that Red Lotus had told in order to protect Ghost Pill, just to protect him. However, what he didn't expect was that recently, the Big Snake Pill actually set his sights on the power of the tailed beast. In this way, Orochimaru also became the object of their use. At the beginning, I only said that he was a human pillar to protect this child. So, you let this kid go, he's pitiful. Red Lotus looked at the somewhat delirious Ghost Pill in her arms and prayed. After hearing Red Lotus's words, the medicine master laughed angrily. Hee, do you think I and Lord Orochimaru are fools? We have known this truth for a long time, but at that time, there was no good way to deal with the tailed beast. That's why he will always be alive. We have long investigated clearly, this child and the 3 tails are master-servant relationships. He can handle the 3 tails. And that's exactly what we want. Quote. The more the medicine master spoke, the more excited he became, and his eyes were full of longing. At this time, seeing the medicine master's almost crazy eyes, Red Lotus became more and more afraid. However, she is also worried that Yakushi will tell Orochimaru the secret of killing Orochimaru's parents, so in the end she can only compromise. The next moment, I saw that Yakushi had recaptured the Ghost Pill again and brought him to the center of the lake again. At this moment, although Orochimaru was still in a coma, Yakushi had already begun to put a helmet on top of his head. The role of this helmet is specifically to stimulate a certain ability of Ghost Pill. It's just that when this ability is activated, Orochimaru may die on the spot. But Yakushi didn't care about the life or death of the Ghost Pill at all he wanted was the appearance of the three tails. In the opinion of the medicine master, as long as the three tails appear, then he can be captured. When the time comes, bring it back and give it to the Big Snake Pill Master for research, which will definitely increase the strength of the Big Snake Pill. At this time, just when the medicine man was excited and waiting for the results, the lake center finally began to react. It turns out that Mio is underwater, and Orochimaru was indeed able to make it surface. Looking at the ripples that constantly appeared on the surface of the water, the medicine master couldn't help licking the corners of his mouth. However, just when the medicine master thought that they were about to succeed, finally Kakashi and the others appeared by the lake. Do it! With Kakashi's order, Sakura and they immediately took action. Seeing Kakashi and them suddenly appear, Yakushi couldn't help but frown. The next moment, when the medicine master was thinking about what to do, Red Lotus also decisively chose to strike. Obviously, Red Lotus had already made up her mind that even if she betrayed the Great Snake Pill, she would save the Ghost Pill. Of course, the medicine master did not expect that the Red Lotus would suddenly make a move and take the Ghost Pill away. At this point he had the intention to catch up, but Kakashi had already entangled them. Soon, a battle broke out between the two sides, and Red Lotus also fled with Ghost Pill at this time. In order not to let the Red Lotus escape, the medicine master sent a guy named Lin to chase them. At the same time, Kakashi's side, Sasui also flew into the air at this time, monitoring the whereabouts of the Red Lotus. In the village, Naruto slaughtered Jiraiya with a ramen meal and ate satisfied. However, after eating the bowl of noodles, he was called to the office by Naruto Tsunade. Naruto, now send you to support Kakashi and Yamato. The situation over there seems to be complicated. Chapter 91. In Hokage's office, Naruto went to support as soon as he received Tsunade's order. Although there is no more information for the time being, it can be seen that Kakashi and their side are in trouble. You must know that this time the characters, in addition to Kakashi, there is Captain Yamato with Tooth and Hinata. In this way, the configuration of the two squads is not bad, and now they still need support, which can only show that they are also very powerful over there. So Naruto couldn't help but speed up his pace and rushed towards Kakashi's area. On the other side, Red Lotus had already fled quickly with the Ghost Pill. However, what Hong Lian didn't know was that there were always people from the medicine master behind him. At the same time, in the air, Sasui has also been standing on the giant bird, overlooking everything. Soon, when the Red Lotus and them came to the depths of the forest, finally Orochimaru woke up from his coma. Seeing that he was lying in the arms of the Red Lotus, Orochimaru couldn't help but laugh. Red Lotus, great, you're finally coming to pick me up. Orochimaru spoke. Red Lotus heard Ghost Pill's voice and hurriedly stopped. Seeing that Ghost Pill was okay, Red Lotus was happier than anyone. She didn't want the Ghost Pill to be used by the Great Snake Pill at all, and at this moment, she couldn't wait to flee with the Ghost Pill immediately. However, at this moment, the people sent by the medicine master finally caught up with the Red Lotus. Just when Red Lotus was about to make a move against the Comer, she found that the other party turned out to be her subordinate. Master Red Lotus, don't worry, I'm here to help you. I know a path to avoid them, Lin said as he led the way ahead. But just as they were about to move forward, Sasui had already sent a signal. Soon, Hinata and they chased after them, and seeing this, Red Lotus directly handed over the Ghost Pill to Rin. And he stayed to deal with Hinata who caught up. Take the Ghost Pill to a safe place and wait for me, I will come to you in a moment. After the Red Lotus said a word, she disappeared in place. Seeing Red Lotus leave, Lin hurriedly fled with the Ghost Pill. On the other side, Hinata and Ya had also chased after them, but when they arrived, they did not find any figures. Even Sasui lost the target of the Red Lotus at this time, which couldn't help but make the three of them a little puzzled. However, just as they gathered together and prepared to continue the pursuit, the air around them changed. What's going on? There is a feeling of suffocation. Ya suddenly noticed that something was wrong, so he alerted everyone. And at this moment, Hinata also used her white eyes and observed. But it's good not to observe, this observation immediately startled. At this moment, I saw that the air around them began to crystallize at a speed visible to the naked eye. Seeing that the pink crystal was constantly spreading, the three Hinata couldn't help but get a little flustered. Jingdun, the art of the Jade Labyrinth. Quote, just when Hinata and the three were a little flustered, the voice of the Red Lotus suddenly sounded. The next moment, I saw a Bagua Array crystal maze immediately formed, and the three Hinata were immediately trapped inside. When this crystal labyrinth formed, even Hinata's white eyes lost their effect. I have to say that this crystal is still very powerful. Is this a labyrinth of crystal making? Quote, seeing that they were sealed, Tooth tried to break the crystals. But apparently he thought a little simpler, these pink crystals are completely harder than he imagined. After several attempts, these crystals could not be broken, and for a while the three of them were suddenly a little helpless. I really want to hear Naruto-sama mention this ninjutsu. It should be a kind of blood succession limit in the legend. Jingdun, I didn't expect it to really exist. Quote, Hinata spoke out at this point what she knew about this ninjutsu, which could hardly be broken from within. If you want to crack it, it must be lifted by the caster. Looking at the pink crystals around them, the three of them were a little overwhelmed at this time. Outside the maze of Jingdu, Red Lotus saw that she had successfully trapped the pursuers, so she left without hesitation. However, when she chased in the direction where Rin and Orochimaru fled again, she found that Orochimaru had deviated from the route. At this moment, the ghost pill had already been taken by Lin and fled in the other direction. Seeing this, the Red Lotus couldn't help but speed up and quickly caught up. Lin, stop it, not in that direction. Quote, Hong Lian thought that Lin was a little panicked and went the wrong way, so she stopped him. However, at this moment, Lin took the opportunity to return the ghost pill to the Red Lotus and decisively struck. No one expected that Lin was actually the person of the medicine master's pocket. At this time, he directly stabbed the Red Lotus, and then decisively snatched the ghost pill. Lin, you guy. Quote, because Red Lotus was injured, her breath became a little unstable. As for Lin, he swept towards the lake without looking back at this time. After a while, he returned to the medicine master's side again. On the other side, Naruto had also rushed to the area where Kakashi was. At this time, Naruto happened to pass by the crystal maze where the three Hinata were trapped. So when Naruto tried to break the maze and rescue the Hinata three, he found that he couldn't do it at all. Naruto-kun, only if you find the spellcaster and let him lift it. Hinata didn't want Naruto to continue to work hard, so she told him how to break it. Seeing this, Naruto decisively turned on the domineering look and looked for it in the forest. After a while, Naruto really found the existence of the Red Lotus nearby. So soon Naruto appeared in front of the Red Lotus. At this time, Red Lotus had just bandaged her wound, and when she saw Naruto, she decisively used Izuku. Jingdun, crystallized shuriken. Quote, Red Lotus threw out countless shurikens and hit the celebrity to the core. However, how could Naruto be injured by such ninjutsu, and soon he launched a return fire. Spiral pill. Naruto threw out the spiral pill directly, and the Red Lotus that hit dodged everywhere. Seeing that Naruto's ninjutsu was strong, Red Lotus finally became serious. Jingdun, crystallized pentagon road. Quote, with the cold drink of the Red Lotus, I saw countless crystals immediately burst out of the ground. Those crystals seemed to have eyes at this moment, heading straight for Naruto. If hit by these crystals, Naruto would most likely be pierced through his body in an instant. In order to avoid damage, Naruto decisively used armed color domineering energy to cover his whole body, and at the same time, Daitama spiral pill also threw out. After the Deu spiral pill came into contact with those crystals, the crystals were instantly shattered. However, by the time Naruto landed, the Red Lotus on the opposite side had already used the crystal again. Jingdun, crystallize 5 seals. Quote, this time, the crystal of the Red Lotus directly created a 3-dimensional pentaprism, and that pentaprism almost instantly wrapped Naruto in it, making him unable to move. Once the crystal is broken, your life is over. No matter who you are. Don't blame me. Quote, Red Lotus saw Naruto being sealed by his crystal pentaprism, and then slowly walked over. However, just as she was about to break the pentagram and end Naruto's life, an accident happened. At this time, I saw that Naruto in the crystal five-sided prism turned into wood almost instantly, and he couldn't help frowning when he saw this scene. You must know that her crystal escape is instantaneous, and almost no one can avoid it. But at this moment, Naruto replaced himself in the crystal 5 prism with a substitute technique, which made Red Lotus puzzled. However, what he didn't know was that just when Red Lotus was using the crystal pentagram prism, Naruto had already dodged it with the Flying Thunder God. When he first arrived here, Naruto had already made a mark here. It can be said that in this nearby area, Naruto can teleport almost at will. Therefore, even if the Red Lotus's crystal pentaprism was instantaneous, it could not control the Golden Flash's teleportation ninjutsu. Your crystal is indeed very powerful, but it doesn't seem to work much for me. Quote. Now release my friend immediately. Otherwise, you're welcome. Quote. Naruto pressed forward step by step, intending to let Red Lotus release people, but at this time, Red Lotus did not believe in evil. The next moment, I saw that she was ready to use the crystal to deal with Naruto again, but at this time, there was a scream from the center of the lake. Hearing that scream, Red Lotus instantly recognized that it was Ghost Pill. So soon she began to worry about Orochimaru's safety. No time to waste with you. Jingdun, Jade Crystal Doppelganger. Quote. Red Lotus instantly used the doppelganger technique, and then left the doppelganger to deal with Naruto. As for the body, at this time, it is rushing towards the lake. Seeing that Red Lotus wanted to escape, Naruto couldn't help but chase after him. How many doppelgangers want to stop me too? Naruto also left his doppelganger entangled with those doppelgangers at the moment. In the center of the lake, when the ghost pill was brought back again, Yakushi continued to carry out his plan. This time, Orochimaru finally began to summon the three tails because of the effect of the drug and helmet. However, despite Mio's response, it still made Orochimaru miserable. Go on, don't stop, I already feel the three tails. Quote. Haha, it's about to succeed. The medicine master was standing on the side extremely excited at this time, but at this moment the Red Lotus had already chased after him. Seeing that the Red Lotus on the shore was standing there at this moment, the medicine master decisively let his subordinates create a thick fog on the lake. Almost instantly, the entire surface of the lake fell into a white gas. But even so, Red Lotus rushed in, and whether it was dangerous or not, she wanted to save Ghost Pill. As for Naruto behind the Red Lotus, when he came to the lake, the nine tails in Naruto's body suddenly moved. Ha, it's that guy. The voice of the nine tails sounded. Hearing the voice of the nine tails, Naruto couldn't help but frown. At this moment, he could feel a powerful aura that was slowly rising from Hooty. This aura was almost the same as the tailed beast that Naruto touched. Nine llamas, you feel it too. That guy below, you should know it. Naruto tried to ask the nine tails to get him to solve his confusion. At this moment, finally the water on the surface of the lake began to rotate wildly. The next moment, I saw a guy with three tails suddenly appear on the surface of the lake. When he saw that thing at this time, the medicine master couldn't help but show a crazy smile. However, the medicine master still underestimated the strength of the three tails, and at this time, as soon as the three tails saw the raw person, they immediately ran away. Soon I saw that the medicine master was also attacked, and in order to avoid injury, they immediately retreated away. However, when they retreated, they left Orochimaru in the center of the lake. Just when the ghost pill might have a dangerous hand, the Red Lotus rushed over without hesitation. However, just as the Red Lotus was about to approach the ghost pill, the tail of the three tails instantly flicked over, throwing the Red Lotus out. However, Rao was so, Red Lotus still did not intend to give up, and soon she rushed towards the three tails. It was also at this time that Naruto finally entered the lake. As he got closer, Naruto could feel the irritable aura of the three tails getting stronger and stronger. Nine llamas, it may depend on you later. Naruto knew that with his current abilities, it would be difficult to fight against the three tails. So at this moment, I am also ready to let the nine tails cooperate with him to make a move. It's just that for the three tails, the nine tails don't seem to have much interest, which also makes Naruto very embarrassed. On the other hand, Red Lotus only wanted to protect Orochimaru, but she never thought that the Three Tails would never let her approach. Fortunately, at this time, Orochimaru finally regained consciousness, and only then ordered the Three Tails to temporarily stop attacking. Ghost Pill seemed to have a special ability for the Three Tails, which also shocked the medicine master on the side. But he didn't want Mio to be quiet like this. What he needed was to storm Mio. The medicine master is very clear that the tailed beast is the strongest only in the state of violent walking. Therefore, Yakushi Pocket was also ready to continue to stimulate the Ghost Pill at this time, allowing him to control the Three Tails to completely run away. However, because of the presence of Red Lotus, how could she allow the medicine master to mess around? So when the medicine master wanted to get closer, Red Lotus decisively chose to strike. And just when Yakushi and Red Lotus were fighting, Naruto also appeared in the center of the lake. Seeing that Orochimaru was actually able to control the Three Tails, Naruto was also surprised. But Naruto could clearly feel that Orochimaru was not a human pillar force at all. As for his ability to control the tailed beast, Naruto was really curious. So soon Naruto walked up to Orochimaru and started talking to him. Orochimaru did not reject Naruto, on the contrary, he had some affectionate feelings. "Do you have a big guy in your body too?" Orochimaru seemed to see through the nine tails in Naruto's body. At this time, Naruto nodded slightly. It's tiring to get along with such a big guy. Orochimaru seemed to be able to sense Naruto's thoughts. Naruto also began to try to communicate with Orochimaru about the tailed beast. And just as Naruto and Orochimaru were talking, finally Kakashi and they gathered around the lake again. And soon, Kakashi used ninjutsu to blow away the mist on the lake, exposing everyone. Upon seeing Kakashi and them, both Yakushi and Red Lotus began to get nervous. At this time, Yakushi was very worried that Konoha's people would spoil his good deeds. And Red Lotus was even more worried that Konoha would treat Orochimaru to Konoha. Red Lotus didn't want Orochimaru to become Konoha's test piece, so at this moment, she also began to change her goals. Is that a tailed beast? As the full picture of the center of the lake gradually became clear, Kakashi in the distance frowned. Obviously, he also realized the seriousness of the matter. After all, it involved the tailed beast, which was very important information. On the surface of the lake, Kakashi and his party were thinking about how to deal with the tailed beast. By this time, Konoha's silent squad had come to support Kakashi, and they also saw Miao by the lake. So soon Shizune planned to carry out Hokage's order and seal the Three Tails here. But before Shizune and Kakashi could converge, Mio became furious again. Orochimaru seemed to be unable to control the current Miao anymore, so soon everyone who approached was attacked. Seeing the Three Tails releasing the tailed beast jade everywhere, even Naruto felt troubled. "No, you have to stop it." Naruto created countless shadow doppelgangers as he spoke, and rushed forward. It's just that no matter how many spiral pills Naruto makes, it seems that hitting the Three Tails will not work. "Hey, this guy is a big three-tailed king 8. The shell is very hard, how can you hurt it?" "Idiot, a sucker, attack its eyes." Quote, just when Naruto's attacks were all ineffective, the voice of the Nine Tails finally sounded. After hearing the words of the Nine Tails, Naruto finally reacted. So soon he aimed at Mio's eyes and attacked again. Spiral pill. Naruto created a spiral pill at this time and decisively threw it into Mio's eyes. Mio didn't notice Naruto's attack at this time, and was quickly hit in the eye by Orochimaru. As his eyes were hit by Naruto, Mio was in pain for a while, and suddenly he couldn't do it. So the next moment, I saw the Three Tails directly rushing towards Naruto. And just as the Three Tails pounced on Naruto, the Red Lotus not far away also suddenly rushed over. The reason why she rushed over was because she wanted to protect Orochimaru. At the moment, Orochimaru was not far behind Naruto. Then just after Red Lotus arrived and pushed Orochimaru away, she and Naruto were swallowed by Mio almost at the same time. After swallowing Naruto and the Red Lotus, the Three Tails finally swam towards the bottom of the lake. As the Three Tails disappeared, the people of Konoha immediately gathered. Seeing that there was no Naruto figure around, everyone became worried. Soon, they also noticed the fallen ghost pill on the side, so they had to take him back first. As for Naruto's whereabouts, Kakashi was directing Yamato to search for them at the moment. In the temporary residence created by Yamato using ninjutsu, Kakashi and his party settled Orochimaru. Then began to discuss the matter of sealing the three tails. As a ninja in Konoha, he knows too much about tailed beasts. Almost everyone knows what the consequences of this thing being used will be. Therefore, Shizune brought people here this time, and he also specially prepared to seal the three tails. However, before sealing the three tails, the most important thing is to find Naruto first. Two things must be done at the same time, it cannot be delayed. Rest for one night, and the seal will start tomorrow. Shizune finally made a decision, and soon everyone also rested. And just as they were resting to take care of Orochimaru, Orochimaru suddenly felt the breath of Naruto and Red Lotus. It turned out that although Naruto and Red Lotus were swallowed by the three tails, they did not die. After getting the news, everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief. On the other side, the medicine master saw that this time seemed to be unprofitable, so he had to leave. However, just as the medicine master left, in the woods by the lake, a Fae of the Shao organization suddenly appeared. This Fae is the incarnation of Ban in the original work, Uchiha with Soil. At this moment, he also probed the location of the three tails, ready to hunt the tailed beast at any time. However, he naturally will not meet with the people of Konoha. After all, more is better than less. At the bottom of the lake, after swallowing Naruto and Red Lotus, the three tails decisively shrunk into its old nest, motionless. And at this moment, Naruto also began to wander around in Mio's stomach. When he was swallowed earlier, Naruto was really caught off guard. At this time, I searched in the stomach of the three tails, but I did not find the exit. Seeing that he was trapped in Mio's stomach, Naruto couldn't help scratching his head. It was also at this time that the figure of the Red Lotus appeared in Naruto's field of vision. And when he saw that Red Lotus's body was injured, Naruto still helped her bandage it. Although Red Lotus seemed to have a lot of distrust of Naruto, Naruto didn't bother with him. "Why did you save me? I am your enemy." Quote. Red Lotus looked at Naruto puzzled, but at this time Naruto shook his head. "Our enemy is the current Meow, the Great Snake Pill, not each other. You're just being used by the Great Snake Pill." Naruto still knows the origin of the Red Lotus. After all, the original book is not seen in vain. However, when Naruto said something about Red Lotus, those sealed memories of Red Lotus immediately flooded into his heart. And just when the Red Lotus suddenly fell silent, a sound of crackling not far away came. Hearing the sound of squeaking, Naruto couldn't help but frown. "It's not good, we're in trouble." Naruto was already alert as he spoke, and it was at this moment that a dense pile of small three tails suddenly surged over. Looking at the little three-tailed that rushed over like a tide, Naruto hurriedly jumped away with the Red Lotus. Naruto knew that although these guys looked small, their abilities were exactly the same as Mio's. And their shells are so hard that it's impossible to attack them. So in order to avoid being beaten to death by a bunch of small three tails, Naruto and Red Lotus had to hide as much as possible. I don't know how long I escaped in Mio's stomach, and finally escaped to a place where there was no little Mio. Hey, 9 llamas, can't you communicate with this three-tailed one? How can you say that you used to be friends? Naruto tried to communicate with the 9 tails again, hoping that he could help deal with the 3 tails. But after hearing Naruto's words, the 9 tails couldn't help but snort coldly. HMPH. Who is friends with him? Quote. Don't compare me with Wang Ba, okay. The 9 tails still looked very arrogant, as if the other tailed beasts were not worthy of standing with him at all. For this attitude of the 9 tails, Naruto was also a little nerve-wracking. So in the end, I had to figure it out myself. And while Naruto and Red Lotus were thinking of a way to escape Mio's belly, Kakashi was also searching for Naruto. Unconsciously, one day passed, and the next day they were ready to seal the 3 tails. Before that, they were going to get Naruto out of Mio's stomach. So Kakashi and Yamato dived to the bottom of the lake, and then found Mio's old nest. Just when Naruto in his stomach couldn't find an exit, Kakashi finally came to the bottom of the lake and broke the enchantment. With the enchantment broken, finally Naruto also received guidance there. So soon Naruto found the exit of Mio's body. After finding the exit, Naruto decisively picked up the injured Red Lotus and came to the exit. The next moment, Naruto's spiral pill pressed directly at the exit, exploding the exit directly. And when the exit of the three-tailed belly was exploded, because of the water pressure, Naruto and Red Lotus were directly sprayed out. Seeing this, Naruto had to adjust his figure and quickly flee with the Red Lotus. Soon, the two fled to the lake. When Kakashi and they saw that Naruto was safe and sound, they finally silenced them and began the seal. It's just that when Shizune and Sakura used the four-elephant seal to seal the three tails, they were fiercely resisted by the three tails. This is something that no one expected. Sister Shizune, the power of these three tails is so strong, I almost can't suppress it. In the corner of the seal, Ino looked a little difficult at this time. On the other side, Sakura and Hinata were also unhappy, and the silence could barely be maintained. But even so, the entire four-elephant seal was crumbling by the three heavy armors, and it could be broken at any time. At this time, the lake was no longer calm, and seeing this scene, Kakashi immediately asked the others to evacuate. You know, if these three tails start crazy, it's no joke. The strength of every tailed beast is not something that ordinary ninjas can compete with. Kakashi didn't want anyone to have an accident because of Mio. Just as everyone was evacuating, Naruto just let the doppelganger leave with the Red Lotus. As for Naruto's body, he dived underwater at this time and swam towards the three tails. At this time, the three pillars of light on their bodies were restraining it, and it was also struggling desperately, and the tailed beast jade in its mouth continued to shoot out. For a while, the entire bottom of the lake was made very messy, but Naruto had the protection of the demon fox coat so that nothing would happen. That is, when the three tails struggled violently, finally a crack appeared in the four-elephant seal above. At this time, only a click was heard, and the seal on the side where Ino was located was directly cracked. Immediately after that, there was a chain reaction, and Hinata and Sakura couldn't control it one after another, and they were directly bounced off by the seal. Seeing that the four-elephant seals directly destroyed the three horns, Shizune was also a little helpless. Alas, it seems that our strength is simply not enough to seal this guy. The tailed beast is really a little scary. Forget it, hurry up and withdraw. Shizune gave the order to evacuate, and just like that, everyone left the lake almost instantly. However, just as everyone was evacuating, Naruto caught the hide with the three tails at the bottom of the lake. Mio could feel Naruto's presence, so he still ran around the bottom of the lake, chasing Naruto and not letting go. Naruto had nothing to do at this time, so he could only dodge its attacks one by one. In fact, Naruto could have left here at this time, but Naruto didn't want to give up like this. Naruto knew that in the subsequent episode of the original book, Mio was eventually captured by Faye and Deidara. And that result was the last thing Naruto wanted. Once the Shao organization has gathered all the tailed beasts, then he will be in danger. He didn't want to become the prey of the Shao organization and wait to be captured. So before that, Naruto felt the need to do something. And just when Naruto was shuttling at the bottom of the lake and hesitating, finally the system prompt in his mind sounded again. Ding! Detected that the host is facing a choice. Quote. Option 1. Submit the three-tailed beast. Mission reward. 1 reincarnation eye. Option 2. Escape the three-tailed beast. Quote. Mission reward. Crystal blood succession limit. Listening to the system prompt in his head, Naruto almost opened his mouth to curse. The reason why Naruto was so angry was naturally because the reward of choosing one was really a bit funny. A reincarnation eye. Play with me. Quote. Or do you want me to follow Kakashi-sensei's one-eye practice? Naruto really couldn't understand the reward given by the system this time, and it was better not to have a reincarnation eye. However, thinking about it carefully, the terrifying intensity that the two reincarnation eyes can bring, Naruto finally accepted this fact. Okay, although there is only one reincarnation eye, it's not bad. Naruto finally chose one, but the next thing was still a problem, that is, to subdue the three-tailed guy. In fact, Naruto stayed at the beginning, also to subdue it, but now its violent state is simply scary. Naruto didn't want to go head-to-head with it, and one accidentally could be half killed by that guy. And just as Naruto continued to circle with the three tails at the bottom of the lake, the figures of Deidara and Afe slowly appeared on the lake. Nah, predecessor. Then the big guy is down there. Quote. Let's hurry up and go back to the errand, maybe there will be many rewards. Fei is actually Uchiha Obito, but no one knows his identity at this time, and he also pretends to be a cute newcomer. Hearing Fei's words, Deidara couldn't help but roll her eyes, obviously not wanting to take off Fei. Since the death of the Scorpion, Deidara has been dissatisfied with his teammate 10,000. The last time he managed to escape from Sand Hidden Village, his requirements for his teammates became even higher. But Fei is obviously not his ideal teammate, and looking at Fei's cute new appearance, Deidara is very angry. Can you please shut up? Now that you know it's down there, go down and get it for me. Quote. What nonsense here. Deidara handed over the matter of leading the three tails to Ah Fei, but Ah Fei looked confused. No, senior, my strength is not good, I have to come to you. I'm afraid that if I go down, I will be killed by the three tails. Fei wanted to make a move, but before he could finish, Deidara, he had already kicked him down. Soon Fei fell into the lake, and just then, he was also discovered by Naruto. At the bottom of the lake, Naruto and Fei looked at each other, neither of them moving. Naruto knew Fei's true identity, so he was extra cautious about this guy. Fei didn't know that Naruto already knew his identity, and after seeing Naruto for a moment, Fei surfaced directly. Senior, there is a man under the water. It seems to be the kid of the 9 tails. Quote. It seems that we are lucky today and can catch 2-tailed beasts at once. As soon as Fei jumped out of Humian, he opened his mouth at Deidara. However, when Deidara heard that Naruto was underwater, his face couldn't help but change. Deidara remembered that if there was no Naruto last time, he would not have been able to lose so badly. Is that Naruto that guy? What a narrow road. Quote. I want to fight him again today. See who's stronger. Quote. Deidara then began to create his explosive art. Naruto, who was at the bottom of the lake, naturally sensed Deidara's presence, and he didn't know what to do at the moment. Apparently with Deidara and Fei present, he couldn't have done anything to Mio. It seems that only to solve them first. Naruto surfaced directly as he spoke, and at the moment Naruto showed his head, Deidara's explosive clay fell directly. With the sound of the explosion, Naruto's whole body was swept away by the wave of gas. Fortunately, without flying far, Naruto had already adjusted his figure and landed steadily on the lake. At this time, seeing that Naruto was still intact, Deidara couldn't help but frown. Obviously, judging from Naruto's performance, his strength is stronger than when he was in Sand Hidden Village before. This also made Deidara, who had been thinking about the previous events and wanted to get back this time. Hey, senior, this little ghost looks very spirited. Let me play with him. Just as Naruto and Deidara looked at each other, Fei opened his mouth at Deidara. However, Deidara will not give Naruto to Fei, he and Naruto still have an account yet. Stay and go. It's none of your business here. Quote. If you make any more noise, watch out for me blowing up your mouth. Deidara glanced at Ah Fei, who was immediately frightened, and then hid directly behind the reef on the side. Looking at Fei's new appearance, Naruto felt sick to his stomach. This guy is Uchiha Obito, the man who helped Uchiha destroy the world. You must know that he is not an idiot like now, this guy is very powerful. Of course, he didn't say it himself, and Naruto didn't bother to debunk it. At this time, Naruto looked at Deidara, and couldn't help but smile. Our subordinates are defeated, we meet again. Naruto said with a smile. However, when he heard Naruto call his subordinates defeated, Deidara's whole person was not good. It can be said that losing at Naruto's hands is simply his great shame. Although Naruto is the 9 tails pillar power, everyone knows that Naruto is Konoha's 10,000-year shinobi. As such a powerful figure in the Shao organization, he actually lost to a subordinate, and this matter has always been ridiculed by everyone. Now that there is finally a chance to be humiliated, Deidara, of course, will not let go. HMPH. Last time I was careless, plus you have Kakashi to help you, and Ben doesn't count you winning. Quote. This time, I'm going to show you what real explosive art is. Deidara played with his clay again, but Naruto didn't have time to waste with him. In Naruto's opinion, if it takes a minute, then the danger is one more point. After all, There is still Ah Fei watching from the sidelines, and that guy is not easy to deal with under the mask. In addition, this guy will be followed by him on the side, so Naruto is even more worried that he will be hit. Well, I'm not interested in your explosive art. In this way, I'll find someone to practice with you. Dirt reincarnated. Come out, 3 generations. Quote. As Naruto spoke, he directly summoned 3 generations of Hokage with the rebirth of Dirt. When the 3 generations of Hokage appeared, Deidara's brows couldn't help but frown. Obviously, he didn't expect Naruto to actually come to this hand, and in the face of the 3 generations of Hokage, Deidara really didn't know what to do. After all, Sandaime is a shadow-level ninja, and he is also famous in the ninja world. Although Deidara is not afraid of heaven and earth, he cannot ignore the power of shadow-level ninjas. You guy, it's not cheating. Deidara was very upset, but he was helpless, who told people to be reborn in the soil. So in the end, he could only bite the bullet and fight with Sandaime. And just when Naruto used the 3 generations to deal with Deidara, Fei on the side finally walked out. He didn't expect this result. Originally he wanted to be a new cute all the time, but now it seems that he can only do it himself. Yo, Uchiha Obito, you've finally given up. Quote. As soon as Naruto saw Fei, he directly said his true identity. However, when Naruto revealed his true identity, Fei suddenly felt shocked. You must know that no one in this world knows his true identity except for Uchiha. However, now that Naruto directly revealed his identity, he became more and more curious about Naruto. But Rao is so, he still does not intend to admit his identity. Uchiha Obito, who is it? Boy, what are you talking about? Quote. Is it a hallucination at the end of death? Forget it, since Senior Deidara, I will deal with you. Fei was ready to strike at this point, but Naruto laughed. Ha, as a member of the Uchiha clan, I dare not admit that you are really a shame. The 2 pillars and ferrets of your clan are much stronger than you. By the way, how is the old guy recovering physically? Naruto suddenly mentioned Madara's name, and then Fei was finally stunned. What he didn't expect was that Naruto was even clear about the existence of Uchiha. At this moment, Fei even suspected that the Shao organization was a traitor, but if you think about it, no one seems to know. Of course, except for Ju, but Ju didn't come at all today, which made him even more puzzled. Who are you? How do you know so many things? Quote. Fei finally changed his face, apparently he had begun to doubt life. However, Naruto did not continue, but decisively used the Izuku reincarnation. This time Naruto summoned the Golden Horn and the Silver Horn, specifically to deal with Fei. As soon as he saw the Golden Horn and the Silver Horn, Fei on the opposite side changed his face again. You guy, how many secrets are hidden? Quote. The Golden Horn and the Silver Horn were no strangers to Fei, so he didn't dare to be careless at the moment. Seeing that Fei was also dragged, Naruto finally looked underwater at this time. Phew, it's time to take that guy. Naruto used Dirt reincarnation again as he spoke, and then the figure of the 4th generation also appeared in front of Naruto. Dad, do me a favor. I'm going to catch the 3 tails. Quote. Do you have any good solutions? Naruto asked Shadaime Hokage, and at this time Shadaime also seriously thought about it. If you capture the tailed beast, either knock him over or become his human pillar force. But if you knock it over now, there's no place to put it. Instead, I suggest sealing him into your body and accompanying the 9 llamas. Shadai looked at Naruto and spoke kindly. However, Naruto couldn't help but be a little surprised after hearing Shadaime's words. Well, can a person become a human pillar force of 2 tailed beasts at the same time? Will something happen? Naruto asked. The 2-tailed orc pillar force, there should be no big problem. Shadai Hokage touched his chin and spoke seriously to Naruto about what he knew. And at this time, Naruto also thought of the 6 Tao Immortal, who was the 10-tailed man pillar force. The other tailed beasts are all 10-tailed, so it is indeed possible. Alright, then ask Dad to help me seal the 3 tails into my body. Quote. Naruto made up his mind at this time, but at this moment, the 9 tails in his body did not dry. In the sealed space of the 9 tails, the 9 tails couldn't help but be angry when he learned that Naruto was going to seal the 3 tails in as well. Hey stinky boy, how can you guys seal the three tails in two? Quote. Don't you think this place is not narrow enough? Besides, I don't have a good relationship with that guy, aren't you afraid that our fight will affect you? The Nine Tails tried desperately to dissuade Naruto from doing so, but Naruto seemed to have no other choice. So when the Nine Tails strongly objected, Naruto had to comfort it. Oh, Nine Llamas, rest assured, I will expand the ceiling space. Make sure you both live comfortably, don't care. Okay, obediently, I'll go seal the three tails. After Naruto finished speaking, he directly followed the Shidame Hokage towards the water. On the surface of the lake, Faye saw Naruto and the fourth generation Hokage enter the bottom of the lake, and suddenly became a little anxious. Originally, he thought that this time he could definitely capture the three tails. But no one expected that Naruto's guy would actually have so many backhands, and at this moment, Faye was deeply shocked by Naruto. Yo, boy, don't be distracted. Your opponent is us. Quote. Just as Faye stared at where Naruto had disappeared, the Golden Horn Silver Horn attacked again. Faced with such two guys who had defeated the second generation, Faye also had to deal with it with all his strength. As for the other side, Deidara was also very embarrassed by the three generations. At the bottom of the lake, Naruto and Shidame Hokage quickly locked the position of the three tails. In order to make the three-tailed rebellion less violent, Shidame asked Naruto to suppress it with the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan at this time. Yes, why didn't I expect that my mother's bloodline has a suppressive effect on the tailed beast? Naruto had already awakened the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan, but he rarely used it in normal times. Now it happens to be used to suppress the three tails that run away in front of him. So soon Naruto took the Uzumaki bloodline on his body and slowly approached the three tails. The three tails originally wanted to attack Naruto, but when he felt the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan, he finally became docile. Seeing this, the fourth generation also began to arrange the sealing technique, and for a while the entire bottom of the lake was covered by the sealing technique. This time, the sealing technique used by the fourth generation is exactly the one used to seal the nine tails. When he thought of when the nine tails were sealed in Naruto's body, Shidame felt a lot of emotion. Fortunately, now Naruto has grown up, and Shidame is very pleased. Naruto, ready or not, I'm going to get started. Quote. After a moment of silence, Shidame finally began to prepare for the seal. And at this time, Naruto actually relied on the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan and began to intersect with the three-tailed god. I don't know how long it lasted, and finally Naruto nodded at Shidame. Then I saw that the fourth generation directly began the sealing technique. When the sealing technique began, the spells on Naruto's body also began to turn. The gate that originally held the nine tails slowly opened at this moment. Although the nine tails were a little unhappy, they still obediently did not move when facing the fourth generation. As for the three tails, he was also very gentle under the suppression of Naruto's bloodline. Soon, when it was sent into the sealed space by the fourth generation of Hokage, the three tails reacted. However, it was already too late, and Shidame directly closed the door of the sealed space. It was too late for Mio to think about it again, so he hid it wildly. However, just when the three tails were restless in Naruto's body, the nine tails finally couldn't help but make a move. You dead King 8, be quiet for Lao Su. Otherwise, Lao Su will beat you. Quote. The nine tails yelled at Mio, who finally realized that there was a guy next to him. When he found that it was actually the nine tails next to him, the three tails couldn't help shrinking their heads. You must know that the nine tails is the strongest existence among the tailed beasts, and he has bullied him before. So at this moment, he can only honestly stay on the side, and the atmosphere does not dare to breathe. Naruto almost laughed when he felt the change in the sealed space. This is really one thing descending one thing, and with the presence of 9 llamas, I am not afraid that the three tails will mess around. Soon, Shidame helped Naruto set up the seal. And after sealing the three tails, Naruto surfaced. On the water, Deidara, at this time, was already embarrassed. As for Faye's side, it was not much better, and the Golden Horn and Silver Horn made him a little overwhelmed. However, defeating this level still did not help, and Naruto couldn't help but feel lucky. It seems that it really didn't come, otherwise it would be trouble. Seeing this, Naruto did not intend to delay any longer. It was dangerous to delay for one more second. So soon Naruto swept towards the forest, and as for Sandame and Goldenhorn Silverhorn, they would disappear on their own after leaving their distance. Just like that, Naruto flew all the way in the direction of Konoha village. Meanwhile, while Naruto was subduing the three tails, Sasuke was dueling with him in the lair of Orochimaru on the other side. Since the container of the Great Snake Pill had reached its limit, he had to be reborn again. And this time it was Sasuke's body that he wanted. However, Sasuke had already sensed Orochimaru's intentions, so he planned to strike first. "Oh, Sasuke, I didn't expect you to strike first. But you can't escape, your body is going to be fixed." Orochimaru looked at Sasuke with a greedy smile. At this time it had turned into the appearance of a large snake, which was extremely terrifying. However, Sasuke on the other side was very calm, as if he didn't put the big snake pill in his eyes at all. "HMPH, want my body, you are not qualified enough. Anyway, I've learned all your stuff, I'll send you on my way now." As Sasuke spoke, the spell mark on his body was directly open to the highest form. At the same time, the chakra eye opened again, and the woodpipe became terrifying in an instant. Seeing this, the big snake pill couldn't help but get excited, and then a big battle broke out directly between the two. Although the big snake pill is now half human and half ghost, his strength is still not weak. He fought with Sasuke for dozens of rounds, and he still did not have the slightest weakness. But Sasuke is not a vegetarian either, especially his control of the Sharingan, which has become more and more proficient. So soon Orochimaru fell into the illusion created by Sasuke's Sharingan. Orochimaru originally thought that he could easily hold Sasuke, but no one expected that it was himself who died in the end. Great Snake Pill, rest in peace. With Sasuke's sword down, Orochimaru finally turned his head in a different place. By the time the medicine master returned, Sasuke had already left. Looking at the body of the big snake pill, the medicine master was a little sad and a little excited at this time. Konoha village, when Naruto went back, it was already morning. Looking at the peaceful village, Naruto was very relieved. However, thinking that the Shao organization suffered a loss this time and could strike again at any time, Naruto couldn't help but become serious. "Keep getting stronger. Next time, you'll have to face a stronger pain." Quote. Ichiraku Ramen Shop. Naruto as soon as he came back and ate a beautiful meal. After eating, I returned to my accommodation and got ready to rest. However, before going to sleep, Naruto still claimed the system reward first. A reincarnation eye, this system is cut. I don't know what kind of ninjutsu can be launched with this eye of reincarnation. Because of the pupil technique obtained in the system, Naruto can switch and hide freely. So at this time, when Naruto was lying on the bed, he decisively switched his reincarnation eye to study it. However, just as Naruto switched to a reincarnation eye, his entire eyeball began to rotate. As his eyeballs rotated, Naruto only felt that the chakra in his body was constantly disappearing. Feeling this terrifying chakra consumption, Naruto couldn't help but be surprised. Seeing that the chakra in his body seemed to be depleted, Naruto had to quickly switch back to his normal eyes. Phew, the chakra consumed by this reincarnation eye is also too terrifying. Quote. It seems that my chakra still needs to practice more, I can't use the 9 lamas every day. Naruto grumbled a little speechlessly, and then fell asleep. He was really tired these days, and he slept until the next day. After waking up, Naruto immediately began to practice. In addition to chakras practice, Naruto also planned to continue to study the Eye of Reincarnation. Although this reincarnation eye is extremely consuming, Naruto has decided to master it as soon as possible. After all, Sasuke has already solved the big snake pill, and the next plot will have to deal with Pain. In order to be able to easily cope with Pain's attack on the village, Naruto had to prepare early. On the other side, while Naruto was practicing desperately, Sasuke also began his plan. At this time, Sasuke had left Orochimaru's lair, and released Mizuki and Shigego, as well as Kato. Several people regroup a squad whose goal is to get rid of the ferrets. In Sasuke's heart, Itachi has always been his obsession, and he doesn't want to settle accounts with Itachi all the time. Of course, this is just the plot in the original book, and in this world, Sasuke has an extra obsession. Originally, he regarded Naruto as the tail of the 10,000-year crane, and he didn't put Naruto in his eyes at all. However, before this fight with Naruto, he was crushed to death by Naruto, which also made him jealous. So now not only Uchiha Itachi is his obsession, Naruto is also one of his obsessions. Even Naruto's obsessive status in his heart was much stronger than that of Itachi. With this obsession, Sasuke is trying to find the Shou organization. At this time, of course, the Shou organization also sensed Sasuke's thoughts. So soon the Shou organization sent people, on the one hand, to keep Sasuke out of the way, and on the other hand, to capture Naruto. Naruto's human pillar power as the Nine Tails has always been what the Shou organization wants the most. It's just that the ghost mackerel and weasel have never been successful in hunting before, and this time the Shou organization is ready to move again. In Konoha village, Naruto, after a few days of practice, chakra's control has increased a lot. But for the Eye of Reincarnation, Naruto still can't use it completely. On the one hand, because chakra is not enough, on the other hand, it seems that one reincarnation eye has been somewhat forbidden. Many ninjutsu can't be launched, which also makes Naruto a little distressed. When will the system be able to give me the other Eye of Reincarnation? Naruto complained a little about this system. And just as Naruto was stepping up his practice, finally the news of Orochimaru's death was completely confirmed. After getting the news, Tsunade and Jiraiya were silent for a long time. As Orochimaru's former teammate and classmate, both of them were a little sad at this time. In fact, the reason why the Big Snake Pill embarked on this path was because he saw the fragility of life that made him twist. In order not to be bound by death, he resolutely began to study human beings. It is precisely because of this obsession that he went further and further, and finally died in the hands of his obsession. Alas, that guy, it's really gone. Quote, I hope when he sees the teacher, he will not be so stubborn again. Jiraiya looked at the scenery outside the window and couldn't help but think of the days when they fought side by side. Tsunade on the side frowned at this time, and soon he also fell into those memories of the past. In the forest behind Konoha village, Naruto quietly came to the clearing alone. This time he was ready to try the ninjutsu of the Eye of Reincarnation, but because his chakra was not enough, he had to borrow the nine-tailed one. 9 llamas, borrow your chakra and use it. Naruto greeted the 9 tails, who rolled his eyes and eventually lent him chakra. And after getting the chakra of the 9 tails, Naruto decisively switched to a reincarnation eye. At this time, after the Eye of Reincarnation was replaced, some ninjutsu information also began to enter Naruto's mind. Feeling the information in his head, Naruto suddenly began to make a print. How does this look like psychic? Quote, could it be that this Eye of Reincarnation can only use the beast path of the Eye of Reincarnation? Naruto still has some understanding of the Eye of Reincarnation, and this beast path is naturally the psychic technique used by the 6 ways of pain. When attacking Konoha, the big guys who were channeled out were not easy to deal with. The thought of the possibility of learning that psychic technique made Naruto look forward to it at this time. However, just when Naruto finished his seal and began to channel, an accident suddenly happened. Boom! I only heard that the ground began to tremble, and the surrounding animals were instantly startled, and the forest suddenly became chaotic. And at this moment, Naruto finally saw that not far ahead of him, something was emerging from the ground. Because the thing appeared a little slowly, Naruto couldn't see what it was at all. But one thing is certain, definitely not a psychic beast. This won't be the golem of the outer Tao, will it? The expression on Naruto's face became more and more solemn at this time, and for a while he didn't know what to do. Even the 9 tails in his body had been awakened at this moment. Boy, what did you do? Why do I have a familiar feeling? The 9 tails felt uneasy for the first time in the sealed space, and the 3 tails on the side also moved at this time. Hey boy, what are you doing? Quote, listening to the voices of the 9 tails and the 3 tails, Naruto also panicked. At this moment, when the thing under the ground finally revealed its full appearance, Naruto's whole person was stunned in place. Outside, outer path golem. Naruto couldn't help but muttered to himself. At the moment there was nothing else in his heart but shock. The outer path golem, something used by the Shao organization to extract the tailed beast and seal the tailed beast. At this moment, it was actually channeled by Naruto with a reincarnation eye. If this is discovered, I am afraid that the entire Shao organization will fry. In fact, the outer path golem is the shell of the 10 tails, and if you want to resurrect the 10 tails, you need to be extremely other 9-tailed beasts. This is also why the 9-tailed and 3-tailed bodies in Naruto's body are uneasy, because this is equivalent to the cage used to lock them up. Once absorbed by the outer path golem, then it is very likely that they will no longer have the freedom they have now. At this time, just as Naruto was looking at the golem of the outer path and stunned in place, the 9 tails instantly blocked it and Naruto's chakra. And when the 9 tails withdrew his chakra, this psychic technique that Naruto used with the Eye of Reincarnation also disappeared immediately. Because there was really not so much chakra support, soon Naruto was panting and kneeling on the ground. Phew, call, quote, Naruto gasped, looking at the disappearing outer path golem in front of him. His heart could not calm down for a long time. The 9 tails in the body were even more glad that the outer path golem did not detect their existence. Boy, do you know how dangerous it was just now? Quote. Just before Naruto could come to his senses, the 9 tails spoke angrily again. Hearing the words of the 9 tails, Naruto finally began to gradually calm down. Obviously, he didn't expect that he would actually be able to channel the golem of the outer Tao. Originally, Naruto thought that he would channel those psychic beasts, but now it seems that he has thought about it. Good risk, good risk. Naruto patted his chest and finally recovered. But after thinking about it, Naruto suddenly had other thoughts in his mind. No, since I can also summon the crooked path demon elephant, can I also control it? Isn't it okay to use it to release those tailed beasts then? Naruto suddenly thought backwards, but this idea was quickly dismissed by the 9 tails. Boy, don't think about it, you don't control that thing enough for your chakra. And if my chakra is captured by that thing, then I may be gone. You better stop messing around. The 9 tails warned Naruto, and Naruto had to smile awkwardly. Since this ninjutsu was not mastered by himself now, Naruto decided not to touch him for the time being. And just when Naruto temporarily gave up this psychic technique, another ninjutsu in his mind once again caught Naruto's attention. This time this ninjutsu needed enough chakra Naruto, so he soon sealed it again. Look what kind of ninjutsu this is, Naruto said as he continued to cast the spell using the Eye of Reincarnation. And this time, I saw that after Naruto's seal was completed, a black sphere immediately appeared not far away. As soon as the black sphere appeared, it began to frantically attract all kinds of things around it. Seeing this scene, Naruto immediately reacted. It turned out that the ninjutsu used this time was actually Pain's masterpiece. It's actually the Earth Explosion Star. Gee, I didn't expect that a reincarnation eye could also launch such a ninjutsu. But this scale seems to be much smaller than the 2 reincarnation eyes, Naruto said as he continued to use the Earth Explosion Celestial Star. After waiting for the Earthburst Star to reach its limit, Naruto tried to attack the mountain next to him. However, this attempt directly cut the mountain in half. Seeing such power, Naruto couldn't help but widen his eyes. Although, this small Earthburst Star is also so powerful. Good, good, there is ninjutsu at the bottom of the box again. Quote. Naruto looked excited at this time, and at this moment, Jiraiya hurried over from the village. Earlier, when Naruto used the golem of the outer way, he had already sensed that something was wrong. So soon he rushed out of the village to see what was going on. If I was not wrong just now, it is indeed the chakra of the 9 tails. And it leaked quite a bit. Hope Naruto is okay. Quote. Jiraiya was also a little worried that the 9 tails in Naruto's body would run out, and it would be bad if that happened. And when Jiraiya jumped several times and appeared in front of Naruto, he was also startled. At this time, Naruto had just run out of Earth Explosion Stars, and the damage caused by that attack was simply amazing. Naruto, are you okay? What happened? Quote. Jiraiya rushed to Naruto, who was sitting on the ground, and asked. After seeing Jiraiya, Naruto retracted his reincarnation eye. Although the previous small Earthburst Star did not need to borrow the chakra of the 9 tails, Naruto's own chakra was still only enough to use this time. At this moment, Naruto was already weak because chakra was exhausted. Toad Immortal, I am so tired. Quote, when Naruto saw Jiraiya, he couldn't help but lie on top of him. At this time, Jiraiya saw this and had to carry him on his back, and then rushed towards the village. Not long after returning to the village, Tsunade checked Naruto. I was relieved to find that there was no problem, but after I was tired and collapsed. Jiraiya, what happened outside the village just now? What's going on with that mountain? Tsunade asked Jiraiya, but at this time, Jiraiya couldn't figure out what was happening. If you want to figure it out, you can only ask when Naruto wakes up. Time passed minute by minute, and by the time Naruto woke up again, it was late at night. This time, Jiraiya had been guarding Naruto's room. Toad Immortal, where am I? Quote, Naruto looked around suspiciously, and then spoke. Seeing Naruto wake up, he couldn't help but walk up to him. You're in the village hospital, it's good to wake up, otherwise Tsunade will be in a hurry again. By the way, what happened before? I felt the chakra of the 9 tails, and it seemed to overflow a lot. Jiraiya finally asked, but Naruto didn't plan to tell him about the Eye of Reincarnation. So in the end, Naruto had to make up the words that he was creating a new ninjutsu to deceive Jiraiya. Have you created such a powerful ninjutsu? Really fake. Quote. Jiraiya looked at Naruto suspiciously, knowing that the ninjutsu looked very terrifying. Even if it is Jiraiya, he does not necessarily dare to say that he can do that step. Well, really, it's just that this technique seems to only be used once, and I don't have chakra. Quote. It seems that you still can't engage in this kind of ninjutsu in the future, otherwise it won't be a one-off. Naruto sighed helplessly, and when he saw this, he also nodded. Well, such a dangerous ninjutsu, it's better to give up. Okay, you're okay, rest well. There may be a mission tomorrow. Quote. Jiraiya touched Naruto's head and left the ward. After waiting for Jiraiya to leave, Naruto suddenly thought about him being killed by pain. Thinking that Jiraiya might not return to investigate the Shao organization this time, Naruto hurriedly got out of bed. Toad Immortal, wait a minute, I have something to tell you. Quote. Naruto said as he chased out, but when he got outside, he was already gone. Looking at the empty corridor, Naruto couldn't help but get a little worried. But it really seems like fate, and it can't be changed at all. Originally, Naruto also wanted to remind Jiraiya to be careful with pain, but now it seems that he can't affect the development of the plot. The only thing Naruto can do now may be to continue to become stronger and change some of his own destiny. As for the plot of others, they can only go according to their fate. After returning to the ward like that, Naruto continued to worry about the day's events. Now for Naruto, perhaps the most lacking thing is chakra. And the 9-tailed guy was reluctant to lend chakra to himself, which made Naruto a little upset. It seems that the 9 llamas have a good talk. After Naruto finished speaking, he directly entered the ceiling space, and when the 9 tails saw Naruto appear, he naturally guessed what he wanted to do. Boy, that thing you made out, I've seen it before. That thing is too dangerous, you can't control it for the time being. The 9 tails voiced his concerns, and of course he was clear about this Naruto. I know, that is the golem of the outer way, the body shell of the 10 tails. That thing is not easy to control now, besides, if I move the outer path golem, it will definitely be detected over there. So I'm too lazy to care about the demon elephant thing now, I want to say another ninjutsu. Naruto mentioned the earth explosion star at this time, and it was clear that the strength of this ninjutsu was beyond doubt. But with his own chakra can only be used once, this is not enough. So Naruto hoped that the 9 tails could completely connect his chakra with Naruto at this time. In this way, Naruto's chakra can be continuously output. For Naruto's idea, of course, the 9 tails couldn't decide. After all, Naruto's strength is not a star and a half stronger than before, so the 9 tails can't even resist. Just like that, after negotiating with the 9 tails, Naruto rested again. Early the next morning, when Naruto had just gotten up, he was called to Hokage's office. In the office, Kakashi and Captain Yamato had been waiting for a long time. Naruto, there you are. Quote, there's a task for you to do next. Tsunade was straight to the point and directly announced to Naruto that they had assigned a task. And the content of this mission is to capture Uchiha Akira alive. This plan was devised by Kakashi with the aim of luring Sasuke out with Uchiha Itachi. Now Sasuke has been wandering outside the village after killing Orochimaru, and the danger level is not low at all. In order not to let Sasuke float outside all the time, Tsunade decided to bring him back. Naruto wasn't really interested in this plan. After all, everyone else knew about the second pillar. The reason why he has come this far is his own business, and has nothing to do with others. But since Tsunade was ready to do so, Naruto naturally wouldn't object. So after receiving this task, Naruto also decisively returned home to clean up simply. After cleaning up, he came to the gate of Konoha village and joined the others. This time, a total of 2 squads were dispatched, that is, the 7th and 8th squads. Looking at Sakura, Sai, and Hinata, Naruto went over to say hello. Seeing that everyone had finally arrived, Kakashi also immediately called out the ninja dog and left the village with everyone. And just as Naruto and his party began to search for the traces of Uchiha Itachi, the Shao organization on the other side also sent 2 teams. One of them is Deidara and Faye's squad, who are in charge of dealing with Sasuke. As for the Uchiha Itachi and the dried persimmon Onigirl, it was the driver who went to hunt the 9 tails. Of course, the 2 people of Uchiha Weasel and Dry Persimmon Ghost Fish are actually just bait. The real capture of the 9 tails was naturally left to Pain. It was also when Naruto and they were searching for Uchiha Itachi that Jiraiya embarked on a journey to the Land of Rain. Outside Konoha village, Naruto was constantly searching with ninja dogs. Just as Naruto was about to go to find Uchiha Itachi, the doppelganger of Uchiha Itachi appeared in front of Naruto's eyes. Seeing Uchiha Itachi, Naruto was much more stable than before. And Uchiha Itachi has never forgotten this shinobi who once used illusions on himself. In Uchiha's opinion, Naruto is indeed a powerful ninja. Yo, long time no see, Naruto-kun. Uchiha was the first to say hello. Seeing this, Naruto also nodded slightly, which was regarded as greeting Itachi. Naruto didn't contact anyone at this time, as he knew that there was no point in capturing Itachi now. It's better to let Uchiha Itachi and Naijuko meet together, so that Sasuke's obsession can have a place to release. I know what you mean by coming here. Don't worry, as long as Urzuzi doesn't die himself, for everyone's sake, I will help him. Without waiting for Uchiha to speak, Naruto had already guessed what he wanted to do. And after hearing Naruto's words, Uchiha Itachi couldn't help but smile. Then I saw that Uchiha Weasel directly turned into a crow and disappeared completely. And after Uchiha left, Naruto shook his head helplessly. On the other side, at the hand where Naruto and Itachi met, Sasuke and his group were also looking around for the Sho organization. Sasuke felt that with his current strength, he could definitely fight Itachi. But while he was looking for the ferret everywhere, Deidara and Faye had locked them up. Ha ha ha, there is no way to play tricks with the weasel, but you can practice with his brother. Quote. Deidara also decisively chose to strike at this time, and threw bomb clay directly towards Sasuke not far away. However, just as the bomb clay was about to approach Sasuke, Sasuke suddenly dodged. When he reappeared the next moment, he had already come behind Deidara. Are you the ones who know the organization? Tell me where the ferret is. Quote. Sasuke held a knife in one hand and put it on Deidara's neck. But just when Sasuke thought he had grabbed Deidara, Deidara's body turned into clay. The clay exploded in front of Sasuke almost instantly, but Sasuke hid with the spell mark on his body. HMPH, you brothers are the same, it's annoying. I'll do it today, solve you. After saying that, Deidara threw out the clay again and blew it up towards Sasuke. This time, the clay he used was much more powerful, so much so that Sasuke couldn't help frowning. Hehe, how's my clay art? Don't think you can win me with a chakra eye, you're not a weasel. Deidara thought at this time that it happened to be Itachi, but he really wanted to have another fight with Itachi. The previous loss, Deidara, has been lingering. And in Deidara's eyes, Sasuke is not comparable to Uchiha Itachi. However, just when Deidara's underestimation of the enemy, Sasuke chose to strike again. Compare me last to him. The battle between Sasuke and Deidara, which was on the verge of breaking out, was almost exhaustive. And when Sasuke and Deidara, Faye hid on the sidelines and prepared to watch the battle. He was also curious about Sasuke's strength. After all, Sasuke was of the same clan as him. But Sasuke could never have imagined that the identity of the enclave would be Uchiha Obito. The eyes are good, but they are still a little worse than the weasel. Quote. Faye gave his own evaluation after seeing Sasuke's shot on the side. And just when Sasuke and Deidara's hands moved, Naruto on the other side had already found it by seeing and hearing domineering. Seeing that the domineering color is much stronger than the detection of ninja dogs and teeth. At this time, when Naruto came to find the ground, Faye on the side also immediately found him. As soon as he saw Naruto, Faye also began to calculate in his heart. Since this kid of the nine tails is here, it is better to take him down directly. Faye said and disappeared in place, and when he reappeared, he was already behind Naruto. Of course, Naruto also discovered Faye, so the armed color domineering directly covered his body to prevent Faye from sneaking attack. Hey, I originally wanted Pain to hunt you, but I didn't expect to meet here. In that case, I'm welcome. As soon as Faye appeared, he opened his mouth at Naruto. In his opinion, Naruto was simply vulnerable in front of him, and it was simply pediatric to want to take it. But just as Faye was about to make a move on Naruto, Naruto smiled. Oh, Obito, you actually became a tool of Uchiha without knowing it. It's a bit pitiful. Of course, Naruto will not be afraid of Uchiha taking the soil. Now even if he is not strong enough, he can still fight with all his strength. However, just when Naruto directly said the identity of Uchiha Obito, the guy who called himself Faye was instantly stunned. Obviously, he didn't expect that his identity had actually been discovered by Naruto. However, at this time, Faye was also a little puzzled, and few people knew this news. Even the current Pain didn't know his true identity, but Naruto said it in one mouth, which was really weird. So in order to find out how Naruto knew, Faye decisively shot at Naruto. Naruto naturally knew what his skills were, since there was only one Sharingan left, so it was almost the same as Kakashi. Mew done. Cuttings. Quote. Faye drank coldly, and saw countless dead wood immediately appear underground, striking towards Naruto. Seeing this scene, Naruto couldn't help frowning. I almost forgot, you still have the first generation of cells on you. It should be Baija that guy got it. Naruto even said Baiju's name at this time, which shocked Faye even more. To know that this information is top secret, only 3 people in this world know it. And the 3 people who know are naturally Uchiha and Ju, and the other is Uchiha Obito. However, now that Naruto knew it so clearly, Faye once thought that something was wrong. At this time, just as Naruto dodged Faye's attack, Faye couldn't help but rub his eyes. Illusion, how the hell did he know? Quote. Faye really couldn't figure it out, and Naruto also showed a smile at this time. The reason why he wanted to break off Faye's identity here was naturally intentional. First, this can prevent Faye from attacking himself with all his strength, and secondly, it is also to let him understand that his opponent is not a fool. If they knew that their secrets were leaked, Faye and they would have to make adjustments. This will also buy Naruto more time. Naruto knew that he still needed time to study the golem of the outer paths. Once he can master the golem of the outer Tao, then he will no longer have to worry about the hunting of the Shao organization in the future. Because even if you miss at that time, you can control the outer golem yourself. It is not impossible to even release other tailed beasts that have been sealed by the Shao organization. But it all takes time, so Naruto needs to scare the snake and let Faye lie dormant first. Haha, how did I tell your secret? Are there many doubts? Isn't it too early to hunt me now? Naruto continued to open his mouth at Faye, and then Faye finally became cautious. He did not admit his identity at this time, but he also had other thoughts in his mind. This is actually one of Naruto's purposes, that is, to make him wonder if there is a traitor around him. It can be said that Naruto's operation is simply several eagles with one stone. And just when Naruto looked at Faye with a smile, Faye instantly had a feeling of running naked. I don't know why, he always felt as if everything about himself had been seen through by Naruto, which was a bad feeling. How exactly do you know this? For a long time, Ah-Fei finally asked the doubts in his heart. And to his doubts, Naruto did not answer. HMPH. It's okay if you don't answer, then catch you. Quote. Then ask, well, I still don't believe you can carry it. Quote. Ah-Fei felt embarrassed and angry at this time, and then he launched a fierce attack. However, just when Fei wanted to continue to attack Naruto, Kakashi also arrived here. Seeing that there were so many helpers around Naruto, Fei couldn't help but worry. Apparently it was almost impossible to take Naruto in this situation. However, at this time, Fei really wanted to know how Naruto knew who he was, which made him very depressed. At this time, Ah-Fei couldn't judge whether this information was known to others or not. If all this information had been leaked, the consequences would have been unimaginable. When Fei thought of this, he couldn't help but look at Naruto again. Naruto, it's okay. Fortunately, we came, otherwise if something happens to you, it will be difficult for Hokage to explain it. Kakashi asked with concern, standing beside Naruto at this time. Don't worry, Kakashi-sensei, I'll be fine. Naruto greeted Kakashi at this time. And at this moment, Fei finally decided to give Naruto a try. Seeing this, Kakashi and the others also immediately attacked Fei. On the other hand, Deidara, in the end, did not win Sasuke. Of course, Sasuke was not lightly injured. But fortunately, Sasuke had Koto beside him, so the wound healed very quickly. And just after Sasuke defeated Deidara, Uchiha Itachi, who had been waiting, finally planned to meet his brother. This is also something that Uchiha Itachi has been waiting for a long time, and he hopes that Sasuke can turn into a truly powerful ninja. This was what he had always expected from Sasuke, even if he misunderstood. Oh my stupid brother, I hope you understand my suffering. Quote. And Naruto, I'll ask you in the future. Quote. Yuyan Village, just as Naruto was dealing with Ah-Fei, Jiraiya had already infiltrated the old lair of the Shao organization. In order to find out the specific information of the organization, Jiraiya also accepted Tsunade's order to infiltrate here to investigate. However, what he didn't expect was that he met his former student here. The so-called leader of the Shao organization turned out to be the children he saved that year. Watching several children embark on such a road of no return, I am also very sad. When I took these children in and taught them ninjutsu, I hoped that they could protect themselves and change the world in the future. But I didn't expect this to be the result, which surprised Jiraiya. Nagato, Xiaonan, how did you become like this? Quote. Zilai also looked at the two people in the distance and questioned. It's just that at this time, Nagato and Xiaonan were expressionless, as if they had no expectations for this world. There was no hope in their eyes, only a deathly silence. Jiraiya-sensei, we have found a new way to make this world a better place. So in order to be able to implement this plan, you have to trouble Jiraiya teacher. After Nagato finished speaking, he rushed directly towards Jiraiya. Seeing Nagato start moving, Jiraiya had to fight. For Jiraiya, he also has something to protect. And his justice is completely different from Nagato's, so he will not back down. In this way, Jiraiya fell into a bitter fight with Nagato. I have to say that the current Nagato is no longer the teenager he used to be, and his ninjutsu are varied and he is overwhelmed. Even Jiraiya found it very difficult to cope. Fortunately, Jiraiya had rich combat experience, so he quickly solved Nagato. However, when he just solved one, three guys who also had the Eye of Reincarnation appeared. Watching such a strange thing happen, Zilai suddenly felt a little bad. In order to bring back the information he obtained, Zilai could only choose to flee at this time. However, how could Nagato let himself leave like this, and at this moment he finally appeared in the form of 6 Ways Pain. In Yuyan Village, the light rain does not stop. Zilai was also forced into a dead end by Ludao Pain, so he had to fight back. However, all this seemed to be in vain, and in front of the 6 pains, even the former 3 shinobi could not do anything. Soon, Jiraiya had a lot of scars on his body, and his movements began to become sluggish. Jiraiya-sensei, for the smooth implementation of our plan, please die. Quote. Rokudao Pain was preparing to solve Jiraiya at this time. However, it was at this time that suddenly their reincarnation eyes appeared abnormal. On the other side, Naruto was also dealing with Fei, and despite Kakashi's help, there was nothing he could do with Fei. Even a few people were already at a disadvantage at this time, and there was no way to win. And just when everyone was a little helpless, Naruto suddenly thought of the Eye of Reincarnation. Having previously created a small earthburst star, Naruto decided to take the plunge and give it a try. But just as Naruto switched to a reincarnation eye, suddenly his reincarnation eye seemed to see Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sensei. When Naruto saw Jiraiya-sensei lying down covered in injuries, Naruto was anxious and wanted to go and help. However, he knew very well that he was 108,000 miles away from Zillai, and it was impossible to pass. However, just as Naruto covered his reincarnation eye in Pain and looked at Jiraiya from the vision of the reincarnation eye, Pain's reincarnation eye also reacted. What's going on? The Eye of Reincarnation is suddenly out of control. Quote. Nagato, who had been hiding in the shadows, discovered an anomaly at this time. And at this moment, Naruto on the other side also tried his best to gather all the chakras on the Eye of Reincarnation. Despite having only one Eye of Reincarnation, Naruto wanted to try to control him. However, just when all the chakras were gathered on the Eye of Reincarnation, suddenly Naruto's eyes turned black and he instantly lost his vision. When Naruto saw light coming in again, he found that he had appeared in Yuyin village. At this moment, Naruto was standing in front of Jiraiya. Jiraiya's breath was weak, and Liu Pain was a little sluggish because of the Eye of Reincarnation. When the celebrity saw this scene, he didn't think about it, so he rushed directly to Zillai. Toad Immortal, are you okay? Quote. Naruto's appearance was naturally shocked. He forced himself to look at Naruto in pain, his face full of incredulity. Naruto, why are you here? Hurry up and leave. Quote. Jiraiya also knew deeply about Pain's power, so he didn't want Naruto to have anything to do at all. Just earlier, he suddenly realized that the child of prophecy in the prophecy was Naruto. So he put all his hopes on Naruto. However, Naruto appeared at this time, which worried him very much. Toad Immortal, I'll take you with me. Naruto ran directly forward as he spoke, helping Jiraiya up. It was also at this time that Pain seemed to return to normal. Ha, the nine-tailed man pillar force. I'm looking for you. Quote. I didn't expect to send it to the door. This saves a lot of trouble. Quote. Although I don't know what is going on, at least I don't have to go to Konoha to find you. Since you are here, then be sealed by me. Rokudo, who had returned to normal, looked at Naruto. However, at this moment, one of Naruto's reincarnation eyes began to operate again. Catch me, you guys aren't qualified enough. Quote. Try the newly learned ninjutsu. Small Earthburst Sky Star. Naruto directly used the chakra to launch a small Earth explosion star at this time. And just when Naruto used the Eye of Reincarnation to launch this ninjutsu, Nagato's Eye of Reincarnation was affected again. How so? Completely uncontrollable. Quote. Nagato became more and more curious at this time, and Naruto's small Earthburst star on the other side had been completed. The next moment, I saw the Earth explosion star directly towards Yuyin village. Seeing this, Naruto fled directly with Jiraiya towards the height. Liu Pain had the intention to catch up, but was blocked by the problem of the Eye of Reincarnation. In this way, they could only watch as Naruto took Jiraiya away, while a small Earth explosion star fell on top of them. Rumble. With a loud noise, Yuyin village fell into chaos. Taking advantage of such chaos, Naruto dragged his tired body and fled into the darkness with Jiraiya. I don't know how long it took. Naruto and Jiraiya finally woke up from the darkness. When they opened their eyes again, they were both hospitalized. What's going on? Where am I now? As soon as Naruto opened his eyes, he looked around suspiciously, until he saw Konoha's sign, and realized that they were in Konoha's hospital. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.